It's the tongue you're burned. Show tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tongue your burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Listen, wherever you are from, thank you for joining us today. In Michigan, it's cold. And good morning, Producer Jay. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm sounding like I'm on 10 and you about on 5 with the energy.
That's about right.
I said, that's about right. Listen, I want to first give you a shout out because you have been working very hard at the point we're getting the call in. We did a sample of the call in last week for about, I think we had 20 minutes and it went very well. We had some technical issues. You have been working hard, and to the fact to 2, 3, 4, 5, I think up to 6 o'clock in the morning, I've been on the phone with you. So 6 o'clock in the morning. So I want to tell you, thank you for working hard to make sure as we develop the show that we are moving forward. And not many people can work in the middle of the night. And you call me in the middle of the night like it'd be 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I also want to say thanks to Steve too, So look, wherever you are at, everyone, click like, share, and hit that notification button so that you know we got a lot to get into, a lot to unwrap. And listen, Happy New Year's! Happy New Year's, everybody! So listen, we're going to get into a lot of things. Look, JWC, what's up? What's up? JWC can sing, y'all. She's a songstress. She can sing. I can't sing a lick. That was not my gift. So listen, Joseph Williams, I ain't going. TMB. Assalam alaikum salam. Joseph Williams, wherever you are at, and if I have not called y'all name, y'all know I can't keep up it with the chat. Y'all know I can't. I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat. Sorry for the delay. We have had some technical problems. Good morning, Shanetta. Good morning, Aluna. Good morning, Bishop T. Priestley. Good morning, Sheena B. Good morning. Well, look, JWC. Good morning, Eddie Gray. Tracy Glenn. Country Bow. Okay. I think, is that Patrick under a different name? Reverend Frederick Powell. Good morning. Cheryl Hart. LaDonna. Look, I'm learning how to do this, y'all. I already said I ain't going. Good morning, Flint Caskets and Memorial. JP6. Good morning. Yo. Good morning. Mary Davis, good morning. Okay, everyone that is in here. Now,
hey,
you got it up. You look, Producer Jay on the job.
Hey, Vern.
Yes.
You are live on Facebook. It is working.
Give it up for my producer. Give you a round of applause. Okay, then I'm gonna share. Look, I need y'all to click, like, share this out. This is a lot of good information because we're gonna get into a lot of different things. Y'all, we going to court. We are going to have to be at court. And JWC, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this, but I'm gonna talk about you on here. Good morning, Melissa. We got to go to court starting Tuesday, 8 to 4 every day until we pick a third ward person. But we're going to get into that because y'all know your girl was on with her attorneys, my winning attorneys. So listen. So I want to give it up to Attorney Terry Johnson and Attorney James Mikowski. So I want to look an Attorney Randy, because y'all know I cannot pronounce his last name. I cannot. So listen, wherever you at, click, like, share, and subscribe. So I've never seen a city, producer Jay, where they mess with pregnant teens who are in foster care and the seniors. So this narrative, we're not putting out the seniors. Well, you're putting out the who does the programming. You're taking their building, you're affecting their funding. This is what the mayor's doing. So they're having to lock in. They're fighting to keep the building. It's a city-owned building. They're on a month-to-month tenancy. They're paying $1. Who messes with seniors? Mayor Neely does. He does. So tomorrow there's a senior sleepover. And I'm gonna read the flyer first. Then I'm gonna tell you how he went in to do him dirty again. I need Daryl Campbell on here when he calls him Dirty Red, because he's doing them dirty. So there's a senior sleepover Sunday, the 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. to Monday, 7 a.m. They're asking for you to come. There's going to be lots of activities that will be going on at the senior. Look, they need y'all support. I mean, it's already the children have been put out of, they have been put out, but you also have got the teens out of the House of Esther, and y'all watch my words, that's going to be developed. And now we have Hasselbring Center, but they changed management. And so there's a lot of legal part. They filed suit. So they're asking the public and everyone, to support them. They have a senior sleepover tomorrow, and that is going to be at the Hasselbring Center at 1002 West Home Avenue. It's going to be Sunday at 7 p.m. and it's to 7 a.m. They're asking for the public support. They're going to be there, and there's different type of activities and games, and I believe there's cars, there'll be food, there's dominoes. Look, I don't play bid whist, but my parents do. That's a whole art. And as a kid, your parents was not talking to you if they were playing bid whist. They just wasn't talking to you. I can play some spades and some tongue. Your girl cannot play bid whist at all. So listen, if you can support them, but we're gonna go on to the next one. So the Senior Center, she's asking for people to support her. You can go to their page on Facebook to see what type of support. They need letters of support from the community. Doesn't matter where you're from, what state. If you want to send a letter, it's on their website, on Facebook, Hasselbring Center. Please give them contact. The director is Beverly Lewis. She is the director. And I'm going to tell you, I looked at their 990s, personally looked at them. Their 990s are in order. From when she started, they have been in order. And they have never had their 501c3 status revoked. They have always been in good standing with the state of Michigan since she has been there. They have been. So let's go on to we're going to talk about this third ward ambassador. Y'all, you can't make this up with some of the stuff. So the calls have been coming. Well, what is this third ward ambassador? I don't know. It's not in the charter. You can have a third ward ambassador, or anybody can fulfill the duties of a council person. That's why you have elected officials to do that. You have council people to handle the duties of the council people. So they did a whole, it sounded like a publicity stunt, but what they did was, and I got to share this out before I get into this. I haven't shared anything out, y'all. And like I said, I'm sorry for you. I have to bear with me for a minute before I get started this. And producer Jay, the next thing that I'm going to have for us to come up with is the I got to come out of this. That's probably why. Tanya Barnes is the where they stated what they had. I need to switch out. That's why. If you can put up where they said they can have 2 or 3 people as ambassadors, and that's just simply not true. There's nowhere in the there is nowhere where it states you can have 2 or 3 ambassadors. You just can't. It's not there. And so we know that they like to make up stuff, and this is exactly what this is, making up stuff. It's literally making up stuff. Producer Jay, I'm not seeing it live like you are. And I don't know why. Oh, maybe. My bad, y'all. Ooh, my bad. So we got it to work, y'all. I'm amazed. So and it is on my page, and I'm gonna share it out. So the third warrant ambassador, because one thing I like to do is to make sure, is it in the charter? And so that has been one of the number one questions. Is it in the charter? No, it's not. There's nowhere in there. But the charter does speak to multi-member bodies. So page 5. So some of you look, that's my producer. So page 5 speak to it. So these were some of the statements which were made to Channel 12. So on Channel 12, the question was made about, it was stated in regards to the third warrant ambassador. It says, what are the requirements? So the Deputy Chief of Staff, Ed Taylor, said, you have to live and reside in the third ward. There's no qualifications. We're looking for an ambassador, which is 1, or ambassadors. It can be 2 or 3, Taylor said. This is a direct quote. So it's a direct quote, and I don't want nobody saying I'm not telling, this is what it is. And so with the direct quote, it also says city officials were quick to point out that the newly created third ward ambassador position would be selected by the administration, not appointed by them as referring to the council. I'm going to repeat that again. City officials were quick to point out that the newly created third ward position is newly created. Third ward ambassador position would be selected by the administration, not appointed. Okay, well, we got some problems. Y'all know I got the raggedest charters ever. And I don't know why my one always is my really raggedy one, but it's handy. So if you go to page 5, it gives you a definition of what is a multi-member body. So page 5 tells us, look, in like Blue's Clues, in the handy dandy charter, it tells you. So a multi-member body is defined as, and I think I sent that also to you. You've got that one too, Producer Jay. But a multi-member body means any board, commission, ad hoc committee, advisory committee, and any group, however designated, composed of more than one person and acting or perpetuating to act in the exercise of official duties. The city council, and that's the end of that one. So then you go on to page 50. Then you go on to page 50, I think 58. You go to page 58, and page 58, Producer Jay, are you with me? We go to page 50.
I'm here. I'm working on it. Go ahead.
Okay. page, look, yeah, look, your girl's in her notes. So then you go to page 56. So the multi-member body states if you want to have 3 people, it clearly states that's a multi-member body. Anything more than one is defined what a multi-member body is in the charter. And so since that is already defined what it is, then we go to page 56. And 56, I need a laminated charter. I'm not going to even lie, because I write all over my charter. Literally, y'all, it be looking, it's a mess. So page 56, article 6, multi-member bodies, whole section on it, y'all, whole section. And for a reason, we have multi-member bodies. So that's going to be the citywide advisory, the what do you call them? The Ethics and Accountability Board. Thank you, Producer Jay. Thank you. We have many multi-member, the Planning and Commission Board. All of these should have been our ARPA committee. But y'all, look, they snuck and did that, was meeting over at the library and did not tell us. You know, that's when they were divvying up the $94.7 million, having secret meetings. And when I asked about them, they said they weren't having them until a retired veteran was over at the library and went in there. And for George Grundy, thank you for your service. He asked to go in there, and they told him no. That's how we found out. And then a few other people was saying, you know, this isn't right. $94.7 million. Decisions were made where the public was not invited to come to these meetings. The public wasn't invited. They could not attend. Any meeting when we have a multi-member body, there must be notes, there must be minutes, there must be an opening and closing. None of that was done, which is a violation of the charter. It is a violation. It was a multi-member body, and they did not follow the charter when it came to divvying this up. And when asked, they didn't tell us. They actually lied. So section 6-101, multi-member bodies. A multi-member body, including boards, commissions, any committees, may be established by the city of Flint by ordinance or resolution. Okay, y'all, 2 or 3 people, that's a multi-member body. The mayor cannot, you have to do a ordinance or a resolution. You can't just decide, we're going to make up a 3rd ward ambassador. You can't do that. Such bodies may exercise these powers and duties granted by the city of Flint, provided that they do not conflict with provisions of this charter or state law. Okay, it's more than one person. He said 2 or 3, that's a multi-member body. Then it has to have a resolution. That means the resolution would be created by the mayor or the administration, and it should come to council. Why are they saying in a news article, giving false and erroneous information? And maybe we have to call it just what it is, lying to the press, telling a bold-faced lie to the press. You cannot select this. It is a multi-member body. You got 3 people you want to put on there. Multi-member body is defined in our Flint City Charter. That was effective January 1st, 2018. It's in there. Got to make it up. It's in there. And so when we talk about the multi-member body, this is the will of the people. The people voted on the charter. And so the charter is set up by the State Home Rule Act. We have to follow this. So you cannot just appoint someone. You can't do that. You can't. That's not how it goes. So the 3rd ward ambassador seat should be done by resolution, and it should come to city council, stating to the press that it should go, that the administration appoints. It's just not true. It tells you, page 56 in the top of it. It's a fact. Now, maybe the problem is I actually read my charter, and this page has come up before, and it speaks to it. It speaks to it. So they have to bring it by resolution, and that's the proper way, or it's a charter violation. But we do know they are getting us with charter violations, because we are headed to court, unfortunately. unfortunately. So let's go on to, that's where we were going. Thank you. And I'm going to pull this up on my other phone. So there was 2 documents that we got. One of them, and we got them, I think, both yesterday. But one was signed at the bottom. We got the email at, it was very late. Let me say, it was 6:34 when we got it. And Producer Jay, I think my comment part has got me out on YouTube. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay. So we got this at about 6:34, and I need to pull it back up. And so this one was actually signed by the judge. And so we have a special master. And I got to turn it because the writing is very low. And so what it states, we got at 6:34 p.m. Our attorney has not went over this, and not with me, not at all. And he had stated he had just gotten it. It says the matter having come before the court, plaintiff's ex parte motion to show cause, oral arguments having been heard, this court issued a ruling, and the court ruling fully duly advised hereon. It is ordered that effective Thursday, January 2nd, Celeste D. Bell is hereby appointed special master to oversee and mediate the process outlined in the order. Special master is an agent to the court. She'll be paid $125 per hour for the time spent in this role. Special master shall submit detailed statement of time spent and shall be paid promptly by the city of Flint. This is wasting Flint tax dollars. We are a 4-4. If they want to get past this, have an election. It's just, I don't see us getting past it. And the thing is, we have been voting and working towards it. We're 4-4. But the other question, which I had with my attorneys, was when did it become a concern when you missing out? Because they didn't mind when Councilman Mays was out for 90 days, 30 days, and me for 30. And literally the first thing was, I said Liddell wasn't a nice person. But when you get lawless people who get together because they have their own nonprofits that they're voting to give, then you have a problem when you are bold enough to speak out about it. And so the other 4 have been speaking out about it. So I'm going to finish reading this. So basically, let me turn this back up. So the special master, it says 2 defendants will cooperate in good faith to engage in the process outlined to reach a proposed resolution. We've been doing that. We have been doing that. We in the 100 and something rounds. 3, the special master shall serve until the expiration of the court's jurisdiction or until the court terminates the appointment, whichever is early. 4, the special master is authorized and empowered to hold mandatory conferences and to compel the attendance of the defendants and their counsel as necessary, including selecting times and date, location, and length of conferences. All parties shall appear in the courtroom on Tuesday, January 7th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. They're giving us a lunch, y'all. All parties shall continue to meet on this daily schedule on each business day until the matter is resolved. The only exceptions are if the court is closed or by order of this court. These meetings are mandatory and are order of the court. Failure to comply may result in a party being held in contempt of court. Special masters authorized and empowered to determine the procedural rulings by which the parties will engage in this process. Special master may engage in ex parte communications. Number 7, special master may file interim reports with the court as special master deems necessary. Number 8, defendants may select an appointee to serve as a 3rd ward council person through their normal operating procedure at any time during the process. This is signed by Judge Elizabeth Kelly, dated 1/3/2025. That was yesterday. So I did not call my attorney about this. He called me. I don't remember what time he called me, but we're really good friends. And so he called me and said, when were you going to call me about this? I said, Attorney Johnson, Terry. I said, tomorrow. I said, because right now I'm still fuming over this. I'm still fuming. And we have people who work regular jobs. People are like, well, you up in the middle of the night. I can do my stuff middle of the night when no one's calling me. As I do consulting and some other stuff. So mine is, as long as I have it in by 6:55 a.m., I'm good. And so we have people who have regular 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 jobs. How are they going to do this? And then I've been told, well, they're going to have to treat it as jury selection. Okay, well, this isn't jury selection. Where was the crime? Where was the crime? And that their employer is supposed to pay them. So we're supposed to be there. And there's a whole bunch. So it's he spent hours, and I'll spend hours this afternoon going over with him. These were some of the concerns. Some of the concerns for me are with the council people. They have 8 to 5 jobs. Some of them have to travel. Some travel out of the country, out of the state, and some travel out of the city. And so there are demands on this. So this is not like it's a trial where there was a crime committed and you have to do jury duty, because there's a process that we handle. Number one, our ethics and accountability board. So producer Jay, one of the first questions was from my attorney Johnson and Mikowski, was, are they in good standing, your ethics board? I said, well, describe what good standing is to you. He said, are they in good standing? And I think I sent you some of the stuff on that, producer Jay, in regards to that. And so, because I want people, I don't just pull this out of my hat. I actually make sure that I do the work. And so, thank you. So that was the appointment of the ombudsman. Yep, I think I need the ethics board. We're gonna need that one next. So y'all, look, we chartered up. So one thing is, are they in good standing? I said, well, I would say no. Why? They have had ombudsman issues since about 2 years since Ms. Dorsey had left. And with them having issues with their ombudsman, number one, they're supposed to, that creates their check and balance. They don't report to us except for at the end of the year where they're supposed to give reports. So have we received their reports? No, we have not. So I need to go into producer Jay, some of the things. And so you haven't received the reports? I said no. Yes.
I'm sorry. Which one is it?
It should say ethics and accountability.
Okay, I found it. Give me 1 second. You can keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. And so they haven't had an ombudsman. They had an interim ombudsman, but then according to the charter, and then it came out, you can't have an interim ombudsman. That's not a position that can be interim. So they let the ombudsperson go. Shax the little, y'all, they say she was my cousin. She not, but look, she can come to the barbecue. She's not my cousin, but she can come to the barbecue. And so she was let go. And then they hired her. Then they hired her back as the as the secretary. I got to mute for just a second, producer Jay. Just a second. Okay, sorry about that. If it is my kids calling, y'all know I always take the call. So ethics and look at producer Jay. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So ethics and accountability. I don't even remember what page this was. So ethics and accountability board and the qualifications of the board appointment in each person. One, it tells you the makeup of the body, and I need to pull that up actually myself. And I put the page. That page number is not down there at the bottom, is it? Multi-member body.
34.
Is it 34? Because some of them may have been cropped out. Okay. Oh, because it's 34 through page 37. Okay. Thank you. So, the Ethics and Accountability Board. The Ethics and Accountability Board shall consist of 11 members. Y'all, they do not have 11 members. They do not. They don't even have an ombuds person. They are not in good standing because they have gone for 2 years without finding or putting in an ombuds person. So one, the audacity for them to even take the city council to court and missing the steps prior. Attorney Barry Wolf stated, Judge Kelly, there were steps prior to this which should have been taken. Those steps were not taken. They went from, we were in the process of trying to elect or select someone, going through the rounds. So are we in violation of the charter with finding someone with 30 days? Yes. But are we in the process and still working towards it? Yes. So though the questions he was asking, and my attorney is very thorough. He makes you think. And so he said, so read to me the part of your charter, because I always got a handy dandy charter, y'all, near me. So the Ethics and Accountability Board shall consist of 11 members. They do not. The mayor shall appoint 2 at-large members, and each council person shall appoint 1 resident of the ward. All wards do not have one. Ward 4 doesn't have one. We do not have one for Ward 9. I think the mayor only has 1 because the person quit. I don't know which ward Micah was for, because she quit. So we do not have the proper members. We do not have 11 members, and they don't have an ombuds person who they're supposed to work with, and that's who they report to each other. So I'm gonna skip on down to page 35. Powers of the Ethics and Accountability Board. That's page 35, section 3504. Y'all, producer Jay, give yourself an applause. Look, I'm reading, you got it already up. That's what I'm saying. So 3504, and then investigate, hold hearings, inquiries regarding the meaning of application provisions in violation of the city charter, City of Flint ordinances, regulations, policies, procedures, standards of conduct, public service, and issue advisory opinions, public reports, or recommend for remedial actions to the appropriate governmental or judicial unit, including pursuit of recommendations for legal remedies. Then section 1, no report or recommendation that criticizes any official act shall be announced until every agency or person affected is allowed a reasonable opportunity to be heard with the aid of counsel. That didn't happen. It did not. Let's skip down to C. Conduct investigation on its own initiative, subpoena witnesses, administer oaths, take testimony, require the production of evidence relevant to a matter under investigation, appoint independent counsel when necessary, conduct financial and performance audits, and perform other functions essential to ensure the integrity of the City of Flint government. The Ethics and Accountability Board may seek enforcement through appropriate court actions. That part they can do, but there's a process. They held no hearings prior to that. They took it straight to court, and that's what Attorney Barry Wolf. So we're split into 2 attorneys. Liddell, Candace, Judy, and Leon are all with Attorney Barry Wolf. Pfeiffer, Jared, Winfrey Carter, and myself are with Gildner. We got our stuff at 6:30 something. I would like to know when they got theirs, which I'm going to FOIA that. I want to know when they got this. We got this at 6:34. And that is ridiculous. To be at court 8 to 4 till you cannot, and here's the thing, they cannot force us to vote on someone that we don't like. They can't. So what they're using is coercion. We're going to coerce you we're going to force you to stay here. So with my attorneys, who I did not even give this to him, he called me and said, this is ridiculous. He said, I don't even know if this is legal. Then he got on the phone with some other of his attorneys who were constitutional law attorneys. And so we had a little powwow. So some of the things that they came up with were kind of surprising. And so some of the things that they came up with was, number one, Monday morning, what we should be doing is filing an emergency motion with the Michigan Supreme Court. They said to stop this judge. That needs to be done because, one, it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. It is very clear, and I know I sent to you how we're supposed to start every meeting. And in our charter, I sent that to you too. And I don't know which one it is. He said, so for two things. One, it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. Two, there's a separation of powers. There's a separation of the judicial and the legislative. Said that the judicial system is forcing the legislative branch to make a decision. He says you can't do that. It's a separation of powers. He said, and so what we need to do, because it is a violation, is file Monday morning. Because you're going to have to tell your attorney, Giltner, or whatever his name is. He says, and then you guys have the other ones have Barry Wolf. He said, why are you guys separated into two attorneys and wasting the city's money when it's the council as a whole? I said, very good question. I said, I asked Attorney Cups, and he said he felt at the time because the council he felt the council should have separate attorneys. Poppycock. This is wasting money. This is wasting money because the law is not separate like that. There's one law. We should not be separate. So we're paying two pricey firms, the city is, and a special master to do this, to go against the people. Now, I pulled some of them records, y'all, last time. And literally in 1 month, the month of June, was it May and June? 1 month, they spent over 100-some thousand in legal fees. I didn't go through the whole year. That was like 70-some thousand with these pricey legal firms, wasting money on frivolous lawsuits. People sue. You throw them out of city council, they sue. They sue for various things. So I thought I sent that to you. I thought I sent that to you with the charter, and it's so much. So when he was speaking to how we are set up, and y'all, and maybe it got late. Power to them, but when it speaks to how our meetings are set up, usually I do a page number, and I did not do a page number for this. I did not, and that is really unlike me, unless I sent it over to you, Producer Jay. So when they talk about it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act, we are required to have public speaking. There's no logistics to when we go into court, how this is going to play out. So my question was to Attorney Giltner, how do we do this in the court? One, we have to have an agenda. We cannot vote in private. When we go into executive session, we have to come out to vote in the public. He said, well, they're going to have you guys in, you're going to vote and choose this person. You're going to put you, in the room, and it's going to be just you guys. You can't do that. I said, that's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. It has to be done in public, and they have to have public speaking. There has to be an agenda. I said, so the courtroom is about, y'all, look, this big, that big, that big. I said, how is the public and everyone going to fit in there? You have to make accommodations for the public to be in there. You can't have the doors closed when we're voting. That's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. The judges' chambers, the doors are closed because we're voting. And if we vote, we have to do it in the public. So here's an example. When we did the trash hearings where the trash contract for Republic was shredded, where Michael Brown, the DPW director, stated he was instructed by the mayor to shred the Republic contract, and he went and grabbed the contract off of Shelby Freier's desk, who was the chief financial officer, and shredded the contract. Yeah, y'all, I'm still waiting on the transcript from that. Still haven't gotten it, and the video has disappeared. Video has disappeared, and so still haven't gotten the transcript from the city clerk. And I still, because we had a stenographer, a court transcriber was there. She had like 20 million pencils or pens in front of her, seriously, and she was on it doing shorthand. And so I asked for that. Haven't seen that yet. Requested that over a year ago. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask for it again, and see what is Carl Allen would say rigmarole they gonna do or run around. So how are we gonna all be in this courtroom without violating open meetings? One, what do we do when we're there? If we don't have public speaking, we have to abide by the Open Meetings Act. This whole setup is not, set up. If we have to be there every day, there has to be a posting. You have to post. So where are they gonna post that? Who's gonna do the posting? Have they made a posting? I don't know. Because when I talked to the city clerk, she didn't even know that this was happening. So how is the public supposed to know? Our city clerk is the official record keeper. So we are scheduled beginning Tuesday to begin in Judge Kelly's court, and we are going to be we have to stay in there from 10 to 1, 10 to 12, and then 1 to 4 until we make a decision. So some of the things, as my attorney said, this is coercion. He said you need to file an emergency motion on Monday. It's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. And it definitely is. I mean, even to say we have to start voting, and when they put in this order, they don't understand what the Open Meetings Act and what we do. The judicial system does not work like the legislative system. It doesn't. They're two separate branches of government for a reason. Just like with the mayor, he's the executive branch, we're the legislative branch. We're separate for a reason, to keep a balance of power. So the good standing with the NAB board, we're not in good standing. They're not. They don't even have an ombudsman. They are in violation themselves. They should have never had an interim, according to them. So Kawana put facts. That's a conflict of interest. The people in the third ward gets to say who they want representing them. They're wanting to slide someone to vote their money is still in. Kawana Mack, she shows up. She's there. She's in council. She's the one with the poppycock sign. And I didn't lost how many times that she's been put out. She's even been arrested. She's even been handcuffed for fighting for her right.
Oh, she have them stirred up mad with that sign.
Yes. They told her you can't move with that sign. You have to be stationary with that sign. We do not have no stationary sign law. We do not. There's no room. So, so I can't get into other things that the attorney said, but that's the gist of it. So starting Tuesday, we are there 8 to 4 and not much notice. So look, if y'all are just joining us, look, hit that like button. And I need y'all to click like and share. So that's one of the things. And so I will have a afternoon meeting with my attorneys again, because one thing we don't have, say our city attorney contacting us, I even text him, and I'm quite sure some of my other ones did, because this is a very short notice. And for them to just dump this on us with no regard and like, hey, just deal with it. Not my problem. It's unprofessional. Not giving enough time. The city clerk, who still claims she don't know nothing about what they're doing. They had not contacted her And if we're actually voting, the city clerk has to be there to keep it to be an official record, because she has to say in what round that what we voted in. So say the 6th ward voted for Beverly Biggs, and I don't even know if they started over with the round. So let's say start round 1. It has to be 6th ward in round 1. There has to be an official record by the city clerk. The city clerk didn't know we were doing this. So I don't I mean how they do stuff is just crazy. So this is of course a problem. I don't know how we're going to be doing this. So anyways, so that's that. So we're gonna be stuck in there with no guidance on how. I don't know if the public will be able to speak. Public will be able to speak. If not, it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act, and we should have an agenda. Have not seen an agenda at all. Have not. So we are going to go on to a couple of other things. So I want to go on to one of the things, and then I've seen some funny things, and even including, well, we're going to talk about this. I want to say we did have, and can we put up the pictures? They did collect and swore in a new chair and vice chair of the Genesee County Commissioners. So they swore in new chairs of the Genesee County Commissioner. Now, I know you guys remember Gladys Williams, bless her little heart. So those are the Genesee County Commissioners. Delrico Lloyd, Charles Winfrey, Dr. Brown, James Avery. You got down at the bottom, James Way. I don't know all of their names. Scott Shoemaker is next to James Avery, and him and I did a case together when we sued the county clerk, and we both won because there was a ballot issue. And so you have three. There's 9 people on this board. 3 Republicans, 6 Democrats, and three Republicans, 6 Democrats. And so you have got, they voted in this past week. Delrico Lloyd is the vice chair, or it's the chairperson of the county commissioners, and Scott Shoemaker is the vice chair. So this is the first time that, good morning, Arthur Logan, that because it's been held generally by Democrat. So I'm gonna take up, let's put a pin that, please leave that picture up. So I went to the meeting with Gladys Williams, and then I know, of course, Pastor Roy and some of the other individuals. And I have worked with them because they come to city council meetings. So Scott Shoemaker has some very strong opinions. He spoke at the Republican meeting, and he had very, very strong opinions. And we got to be careful who we line ourselves with. His opinions were very strong. I wasn't surprised. And so we have, I think James Avery was the chair of the council before. Now we have the commissioners where Commissioner Lloyd is chairing, and you have 3 Republicans who supported him. 3 Republicans. So he had 5, is a 5-4 vote. So I think he's a Democrat, and the 3 Republicans. Now at this meeting, Scott Shoemaker stated very clear. He said he says, we are now making way. We're making strides. This is before the appointment, which was this week. He says, we now have 3 Republicans. And so we're going to continue to work forward to get to fill that race. They didn't have that before. So Republicans are gaining. They're gaining in a Democratic county. And so Commissioner Lloyd is, I believe he's Democrat, and 3 of the Republicans supported him, and Dale Kenneth Wayhill, which he actually, I'm really surprised with that vote, because some of the comments that Shoemaker made at that meeting were, they were kind of shocking to me. They were shocking. And some of them were somewhat offensive to me when it came to the LGBTQ community. So the 5 votes that that for Commissioner Lloyd and for Commissioner Shoemaker were the 3 Republicans and Commissioner Lloyd, and then Commissioner Wayhill, Del Kenneth Wayhill. And so I'm looking at, I don't know if they're creating a balance where we have one African American and one Caucasian. I don't know what they were creating with the balance, but that vote was a 5-4. And I always look at how people vote. Now, I don't know why the other ones, Mr. Winfrey didn't vote for that. Dr. Brown didn't. James Avery didn't. And there was one more, did not. I don't know the name of all of them. So we ought to be looking at how people are voting, who they're aligning themselves with. So he's the new vice chair, and so is Shoemaker of the Genesee County Commissioner, of the Genesee County Commissioners. So I just look, y'all gotta watch how people vote. I'm just saying, and who they align themselves with. They're hearing, or they're swearing in. I think they said it took a little longer than normal, and their meetings are in and out because a lot of their things, I don't know if their schedules are as much as ours. We have a lot of items that come across to us that affect the city, and I don't know if the county, I don't know what theirs are, but their meetings are generally a lot shorter than ours are. So that is the new. That's how that vote went. That vote was 5-4. And y'all keep your eyes wide open. So, there we go. So District 1 is Delrico Lloyd. District 2, Charles Winfrey. District 3, Gary Getzinger. District 4, Dr. Beverly. District 5, James Avery. District 6, Sean Shoemaker. Y'all, I have been saying his name wrong, and I apologize. Sean Shoemaker. District 7, Martin Cousineau. District 8, Del Kenneth Wayhill. District 9, Brian Flewelling, whatever. Brian Cat. So I went to that meeting, and I'm going to tell you, and this is where I'm saying you have to get involved or you're going to get left behind, because a lot of these decisions, they're making major decisions at this point. Major decision. Can you put up Sheena B's thing where she says, are there any attorneys that live in Flint that aren't with the BS to speak up for their community? And that's a good question. So I just, that vote was shocking. You really even had a split by race when you had the 3 Republicans supporting Commissioner Lloyd. That was different to me. That was different. So I'm looking at that vote. And see, these are the things that people don't want to talk about. So that to me,
I don't see that comment. Where is that at?
It is. I'm looking at the chat on YouTube. She says, "Are there any attorneys?" And mine may be delayed in how it's down, but it's in between. Melissa Zaremski's is below hers, and TMB.
No, so, I don't see it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no. So it says, are there any attorneys that live in Flint that aren't with the BS to speak up for their community? If so, look, we need them. I mean, we need them. Everybody knows I had to go outside to get help, which is not in this community. It is very difficult to find attorneys. Most attorneys who work in Genesee County courts, people feel that it's a strong connection with the attorneys and the judges. It just is. Many people say Genesee County is the most corrupt county in Michigan. That's what you hear attorneys say, and especially attorneys who do not. Mine is being delayed. Especially attorneys who don't practice here. They who don't normally practice. When they come here, they're like, I've never seen nothing like this. They say it. A10 Flint says it's about compromise. No one gets everything they want in politics. Every side has to give in order to get. Yeah, A10 Flint, that's true. But some of the stuff we don't. Some of the stuff we absolutely do not have to give. There's a difference when there's a balance. We got 6 Democrats on them county commissioners, and we got 3 Republicans. And the 3 Republicans, you look at who they, and number one, I live here, so I know what's going on. And I appreciate everyone who does not, but you got to look at it. That's one of the reasons why I do this podcast, to show, yes, you have to negotiate to get something. But I think sometimes when people, the drive for position and power, and what do we do? And do some people abuse it? Mayor Neely abuses his position and power. We look at how he abuses it for Hasselbring. We look at how he's decided to make a 3rd ward ambassador, something that doesn't even exist. We look at how he uses these frivolous lawsuits. We look at how he locked the doors on the House of Esther. Yes, politics has to have some compromise, but you got to look at who you're compromising with, first of all. I have been to, like when I went to that meeting, I left and I have some friends who were there. I was really shocked by some of the, not really shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was. And so, yes, there has to be, but there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance, period. So, Jessica's comment: culturally and economically cleansing Flint by way of by drying up support and resources for pregnant teens, seniors, and other vulnerable populations is stuff of evil. I agree. I agree with that. So let's go on. I want to talk about the Hurley. There were two pictures that were put up. And one I am very sensitive to, because how they portray our community. 2 pictures were put up about that. Oh, yeah, no, that was them at Hasselbring yesterday harassing them. Just for the record, yesterday at Hasselbring, they have sent 4 times somebody in there, 4 times. And so they actually said that right there is the picture of the new person who's going to run Hasselbring. They sent her up there to help post a sign. Oh, that's Lee, with Lee Osborne. That's the one who's over the maintenance department. And so he's the one who changed the locks on the doors at House of Esther, who will be changing the locks on guaranteed for Hasselbring. He was there yesterday also looking at how to redo the floor so when they take it over. So they have sent contractors inventory. They're just, it is a way of harassment, letting them know we're coming in. You can't stop us from coming in right now. They're coming in, no notice given, bringing groups of people, inventorying, videotaping, taking pictures. So this is part of the harassment Hasselbring is doing while they have programming, not scheduled to come in, but while they have programming. So, but there was a picture. We're going to talk about the New Year's baby. There's a picture of a couple. And so babies born in the city of Flint, if you live in Flint, we had our New Year's baby. So Hurley Medical Center posted the first baby of the new year was born at Hurley Medical Center at noon. Her name is Iris Alyssa Koch. So you have the 2 parents, and you got the little baby, and you have the proud parents holding baby Iris in the middle. So, okay, here we go. Great. Now, Flint is an urban city, right? So one of the news stations decides to crop the daddy out. So can we put that picture up? Babies coming to the world. Now, where the daddy? They decided to put the picture up. The first baby of the new year was born in Hurley Medical Center at noon yesterday. Why they got the black mother like she's single? You know, Hurley put it up on their site. Hurley Medical Center, the hospital, has the baby and the mom. Maybe Michigan now, I think y'all dropped the ball on this one. You know, show that baby with both of the parents. I hate to see, and it bothers me because they, you know, people be like, oh, that's your baby dad. No, my children have fathers. Okay. So for me, I don't like perpetuating like black mothers are are single. They don't have fathers to their children. Because this one, she clearly does. He's all in the picture, LinkedIn. They're holding little baby Iris. But when the other news stations start to report it, the daddy gone. I don't like seeing, because you'll see it. You'll even see in some of the commercials, and I'm very aware of when they say stuff, or if it's a family fixing breakfast, the dad is missing is just the black mom. But if it's a white family, it's the mom and the dad. Those type of visual things will play in your subliminal. I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem. You know, things are different. We have blending of families and all of that. But that daddy was clearly there. They should have put the daddy with baby Iris with the mom in there. I don't like seeing that when they do that. And that just ticked me off. Maybe I don't even think it's me being petty. No, the daddy should have been in that picture too. Baby Iris had two parents at that hospital, two parents. And the daddy should have been in the picture with the mom as we continue to share that information with the world. She was not born to this world by herself. Fathers are essential in babies' lives. And when the fathers are trying to be present, especially in the photo op, put that daddy in there. Leave that daddy in there. And so that bothers me. It just bothers me. So that is one of the things, you know, when you have that irritates me. So I want to go on to, we had 11:22. So one of the other things that we can put up, and after we're gonna open up the lines. The semiconductor company in Mundy Township. And I want to talk about that. And if you don't have to put up the wording, producer Jack, you can just put up the article part. Because it's going to change. And like I tell people, either you get involved or you're gonna get left behind. And that's just the way it is. And so the Semiconductor company and its Western Digital is a potential company that could build a manufacturing operation on a 1,000-acre property in Mundy Township. The property is near Bishop Airport and is bordered by Maple Hill, Elms, and Linden Roads. The property is being considered for a $55 billion semiconductor production operation that could create up to 10,000 jobs. The township has placed an advanced manufacturing overlay on the district to give it more authority in deciding who and what can go into the site and funding. Michigan lawmakers already approved, to a $250 million grant to continue development of the site. The development has been controversial among nearby residents. The Flint and Genesee County Economic Group has considered other plans for this property, including engineering, robotics, and other high tech. Listen, that project is moving forward. And so I don't know if I remember the lady, she's a Mundy Township supervisor who she came and spoke, and she was having some issues with it. She spoke at our meeting, and probably within a week, they had a meeting there, and their meeting was not happy with her for speaking at City Council. One, she didn't know that we had already passed for Ashley Capital. That part had been done. And Ashley Capital Nanograph is a company that's coming in, and they're building 2 of 10 on the old Buick site. So the new supervisor could throw a wrench in the $55 billion Mundy Township investment. And she showed up at our city council meeting. She showed up, she spoke, misspoke actually, because we had already passed it. But I thought personally she just had some misunderstandings. And at that time, I didn't know, I still haven't met her. And I told her I would speak to her afterwards. But they held a meeting and wanted her to apologize. Somebody sent a letter. They said it was a letter from the council. I did not send or agree to have a letter from the council. So I hope my name wasn't on that letter, because I have not agreed to have a letter sent to that council, to Mundy Township. That was not my complaint. Not at all. Not at all. She misspoke, but they read a letter. They said that the council sent a letter that we were upset. Who on the council? I did not do that. So What's going to happen? That $55 billion company is coming. What are they looking at? They're going to need at least 10,000 housing. Where? That's going to be anywhere there's already infrastructure. And what generally happens with eminent domain? They go through Black communities. That just happens. We had the St. John's place. St. John's, where they, for I-475, went through St. John's, a Black community. Not just St. John's, every single place where Black people live, Black people were thriving. Black people had drugstores, grocery stores, dental office, doctor's offices, barbershops. Did I say drugstores, shoe stores, shopping, everything, meat markets. They decided to put, that's where expressways went, all through the Black community. And they used eminent domain. San Francisco, they used it, but they put it through the where Black people and the Japanese people were living. They did it in Houston, Texas. They did it in Detroit. Wherever you have a major metropolitan city, wherever Black people live, where they say, oh, that's where we're going to put the highway through. We'll put it through where the Black people live. And so when we look at where they're developing, they feel like, number one, it's poverty. Two, they use eminent domain. You don't get what you think your property is worth. You get what they feel that you're going to get as far as standard and what they call standard. And I had showed some of the documents last week, which showed what they considered standard. What they did when they did 475, what they did was list the people by race. They listed by white families and Black families. Some were given housing assistance, and then others, 100 and something families went over, I think 116 families went into public housing. So they uprooted them from their community, took them from their homes, put them in public housing, and what people often call the projects that happen in Chicago. To anywhere you have a metropolitan where there's a pocket of Black people, they use eminent domain to run the expressways or the highways through. And so when we look at what is going to happen, a House of Esther, that's going to be a new development with housing. It sits on 25 acres. Northern had been burnt up so many times. I think Clack had said it's like 17, 18 acres. That's going to be developed. Guaranteed, because they need it. And there's already infrastructure. There's water, there's fiber optics, there's sewer, there's natural gas. All of your utilities are already there. And so we have a lot of areas which are green space. So when we talk about our master plan, they plan out for years. We plan for tomorrow or Monday. We don't plan out like that. And so we have to be careful. Flint is not unique in what's happening. And it can happen anywhere. It can happen absolutely anywhere. And so Jennifer Carver, I also requested that transcript. She has not my chat is behind. JWC said, I also requested that transcript. Have not received it yet. Nope, have not. So I want to make sure I was covering some of the main things, and we are into the new year, this new week coming up. I don't know what all is going to be happening this week. But I want you to be mindful of this project for $55 billion. It is the largest investment in the city, well, not the city of Flint, in the state of Michigan and in Genesee County ever. $55 billion. And that doesn't include, other companies that are going to come. And so when we look at this is huge. This project is cited to come. I mean, I don't think it's much that's going to stop this. I don't think it's going to stop. Now, it's going to be here. So what we need to do is, how do we take care of the people who are here? How do we take care of the people? How do we take care of the people who are already living here? And making sure our seniors are not taxed out, making sure our families who are on low income. So there are programs now to help people, but we have to make sure we get them signed up for them. And that is something that we as council people have got to do with some of the new programs. Making sure that in our community, we can let those who have worked and did their due diligence and stayed so that they will not be taxed out of their homes. And so we have got to, and I talk about this. I don't want people to be like, nobody told me. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you the conversations that are happening. And we look at that first ward. First ward is actually access to many highways within 10 minutes. You can get to I-75 within 10 minutes. You can get to I-475 at 2 different ways. You can get to it, down Pearson, so you can get to it within 10 minutes. So you are within 10, 15 minutes to get to any expressway that you need to if someone works. So you watch and see how things are going to change. And I mean, I believe in economic development and growth, and we want Flint to come back, but make sure we take care of the residents here. We had $94.7 million come into the city of Flint. And guess what? Did the residents really see a big impact with that? And that's why the residents are upset. So I think that is all that I'm going to cover for today, because I'm going to be respectful of your time, Producer Jay. And so let me go back and check. Oh, no, I want to cover this because we're going to talk about this. Let's put up the Cybertruck with the Tesla, because that is on the news every single day, where the Tesla truck, they went in front of Trump Tower and it blew it up. So, and people are saying, my mother had called me. She was like, well, have you seen that? I had not seen that. And I had not seen the New Orleans, because I don't cut my TV on sometimes, y'all. I will not cut my TV on for days. And had I seen about the New Orleans when they ran over, I think it was 15 people were killed and another 30 people, I think it said 30 plus people were injured. And prayers for those families, because you go to have a good time. I believe they were on Bourbon Street and the individual plowed through speeding. And that was just horrific. So the Tesla truck one, I think that they were trying to make a statement because Elon Musk is close to Trump, that he was in a Tesla truck and filled it with materials and detonated it in front of a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. So when we look at some of the things which are happening, that to me is really scary, because we have to be conscious of what's happening in our community. And that to me was very, very scary. And Don Lemon did a article, or he does his TikTok, and he talked about I hadn't seen that when Producer Jay were there putting it back together to see forensic so when this individual detonated it and blew himself up in front of Trump, I think that was a statement that he was sending. We have some people with to different times. We know that that needs to be what we covered here. That's a little small for me to read. I can't read that, Producer Jay. Can you read it? It's too small for me to read.
Yeah, it's basically just going over both events that you're talking about. So.
Okay. So the New Year's attacker in New Orleans acted and y'all look, this is acted alone. The FBI? The FBI said Thursday, they were trying to, they were connected directly. That one is real. I can't read that. It's too small for me. to read. Y'all, when you get older, look, I don't have them teenage eyes. I don't have them 20-year-old eyes no more. So one, look, we have to be careful of our environment. We also have to be careful of where we're at. Be careful of your surroundings when you're out. A lot of times they want us to live in fear. And that's one thing about Americans. Americans have said we will not have our rights taken. We will not live in fear. And that would go back to even 9/11, how the country came together with the bombing of the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers. They bombed the Pentagon, and then they bombed. They had the plane where the statement of the father, the call that has been played, where I think he said, "Let's roll," where they were trying to do everything and even going after the two pilots, where the pilots had been taking lessons and knew how to, weren't concerned about landing the planes. And they took those planes in different locations and put them into the buildings. And the one went into the ground, the Pentagon, the one went into the ground, I think in Pennsylvania, and the other one was into the World Trade Center. And so when we look at these things and what our country goes through, and we look at the wars that are going on, the world can be a very cruel world. Is it that this is now because we have so much access to media and to news? And I want to hear some of y'all opinions on this. Is that we are more heightened because we have access to more news now? Or do you think, this has always happened? Do you feel we are desensitized because we've had so much of this happen? And look, I need y'all to hit that like button and hit this, to shoot this out in the algorithm. Hit that like button. And are we desensitized? And so I think that when we look at it as a nation, we need to look at that. I remember seeing where I was at when the World Trade Center, when the planes came through. And it reminds me when they say where people remember when President Kennedy was shot, or when Dr. Martin Luther King was shot. We remember, events like that. Where were we at? And so for me, I am a news junkie, and because the council is so, I don't know what to call the council, to be honest, I have withdrawn from as much news the past year. I would watch news, every news. I would watch the Young Turks, CNN. I would watch Fox News because some of they spin was really comical, actually. And so I would watch not only the news, but I would do internet news, and I like to get the news and then to form my own opinion. But are we desensitized as a country? I remember that the kids I forget the name of it. The kids were, was it 20-something children who were killed? And then they had saying those kids, that didn't happen, with the shooters going into schools. We've got some different times, Columbine, we had them going into the schools, and we had Oxford here in Michigan. And so are we desensitized? One of the things that people say, well, what about gun laws? And if we remember, we had the people, the two who blew off with, half of the building blew off where, and this was probably over 20-something years ago, maybe 30, Timothy McVeigh, when they blew up a federal building. And in that building had it was a daycare, and children were killed in this. And it was during the day. Parents were working, dropped the kids off the daycare. It was a federal building, and they blew up the building. And when you look at the building, it was over half the building was blown off. And so are we desensitized? But like I say, I want to get, how does this affect us? And I remember President Trump he's going to be president again. 45 will be number 47. But when someone picked him off on top of a roof, and he had the flag perfectly standing behind him, and the shot came through and it nicked his ear, they stated. And then he wore a big gauze on his ear, and he melted. At that time, I remember I was at my friend's house, and I said, that right there with that flag, you're going to see that picture everywhere. And we were watching the news at her house at that time. And I said, they just made him a martyr. I said, they just made him a martyr. And because he stood up, put his fist up, like we're one America, we're strong, and we're going to fight against this. So I want to hear people's thoughts. So Producer Jay, can we open up the lines? So for the call-in number, and let me know if I know you have it. Also, one thing to keep these shows going, if you can, attention from the police. Oh, yeah. You know what? Producer Jay is keeping me on task, y'all. Yeah, I forgot about that. So listen, New Year's Eve, number one complaint, it sounded like a war zone. And so many people thought it sounded as if, but they felt that if you lived in a war zone, and the gunfire was bad. So one of the things I had sent out I put up an article beforehand because it has gotten progressively bad. It is not, for many who think it's a tradition and that you can shoot at midnight, you cannot. It's against the law. It is against the law for you to shoot your gun, open fire, and discharge your firearm into the air. It is against the law, and you can be arrested for it. That's a fact. You cannot do that. So the Flint Police Department, because I had numerous complaints, when gunshots, I have always said, if you hear gunshots, don't call me first. Please call 911 because there has to be a record. 911 is the official record keeper. And if you need help or someone ends up getting hurt and it needs to be an investigation, it needs to be on record with 911. They keep official records. So I sent emails out because we had a large amount. We had a lady the day before, 2 days before New Year's Eve, we had someone in the 800 block of Frank Street discharged 20 bullets into the street. And there were more shell casings actually in the yard than once they left, people had found. And so 82-year-old lady made the call in at 2:36 a.m. And so did neighbors. You got to call if you hear gunshots. New Year's Eve, there's only 3 ways, I think, to change. That's through education, educating people, letting them know you can't do it. There is laws against it. You can go to jail. You can be arrested. You can be fined. So there has to be education and there has to be enforcement of the law. And you have to. Enforcement means we're going to enforce if you're just randomly shooting off into the air. Also, we have to work with the community. So we have to work with the community with identifying where we have hot spots and issues. And so the community plays a role with making sure they're calling into 911 to keep an official record. So this is what the police department stated. Attention from the residents. The Flint Police Department is aware of unlawful discharging of firearms during New Year's celebrations. Please remember that firing a gun within city limits is illegal and can lead to arrest. This reckless behavior presents serious risk to public safety, including potential injury or death from stray bullets. We will actively pursue anyone engaging in this illegal activity. If you have information about individuals involved, please share it with us. That's with the Flint Police Department. Thank you for helping keep our community safe. So that's the statement that the police. Well, when you got 300, 400 people shooting off guns, we don't have that many police to go to each one. So it's going to have to be education. It is not okay. You cannot discharge your firearm into the air. It's against the law. 1, animals have a problem with it. 2, it's dangerous. What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. Therefore, those bullets coming down do cause property damage. Cars are hit. Holes are put into roofs. Windshields are cracked. Windows are busted. People are inadvertently shot out when those bullets come down. People have property damage when those bullets come down. When they When you do it, you stop. And they do it. You will hear 100, 200 rounds sometimes because they don't care. And it terrifies people. It affects pets. Pets scramble. I've told y'all about my dog, I had to put him down. Shadow was a rescue dog. Shadow had a bullet by his spine that we couldn't have removed. And so New Year's Eve was really tough for him. And so the sound of bullets affects pets, of the rapid gunfire. And they can't get away. So I would have to take him down to the basement and sit with him until it was over because it really affected him. Also, veterans who have post-traumatic stress disorder, hearing that can trigger their PTSD. Hearing those gunshots can trigger their PTSD. So there are reasons. I'll put up an article on reasons why we should not do it. One is dangerous. Two, it affects our veterans and it can trigger their PTSD. Three, it can cause property damage. Four, it affects our pets. Just don't do it. Find another way to celebrate. Crack open another bottle of champagne and cheers to another year that you survived COVID. Cheers to that. So you cannot do that. Also, kindly donations are kindly accepted. In order for us to do shows like this, Producer Jay has a lot of work to do. Donations do not go to Tanya Burns. They go directly to Producer Jay at $ Producer J J87. That is with Cash App. So donations are kindly accepted. For Cash App, if you would like to donate to the Tanya Burns Show to make sure we can continue to bring you information where you will actually get it, because the news don't cover it and they don't cover it the way they should. So I make sure that we do research and we bring you the truth and support it with documentation. Like I said, we bring you the receipts. So donations are kindly accepted at $ Producer J87. Producer J, lead it up. I also want to talk about, there was on the internet, on social media, that a little girl was kidnapped. The little girl, our kids are missing. Now, y'all know I'm going to act on that. And so even before, because I had gotten calls about people seeing that. So Producer Jay, listen, y'all, if you can donate, if we can keep this up, can we put up, did I send you the article about the little girl?
I was looking for it, but I didn't see it. If you can see it again.
Okay. I will see. So Chief Green gave an explanation on what had happened, because people were saying, oh, little kids are getting kidnapped in the city of Flint. And he did do, and I'll screenshot. He did a I think it was with ABC 12 and with ABC 12, and talked about, is this happening? What's going on? Because a little girl, and there were other kids that they had said, have been reported missing. Let me see if I can find it. This is not the 6th. This is, I think this little girl was 12, and it was on Friday. But this one, I Googled it, is missing 16 reported missing, last seen 4 days ago. So the one that they had put out was, and it went viral. It went viral with the little girl who they said was missing. In Flint. I thought I sent that to you. So what's going on with that? Our kids missing.
I just looked. I don't see it anywhere in my inbox.
Okay. It went viral on the internet. And let me go to ABC 12. I know we can, but I can highlight it. And so Chief Green had to speak out about it because people were sharing it. So what happened with the little girl? She's got some issues at home, and there are clearly problems at home for her. And okay, yeah. And I know we don't have to play it because I don't want to get any problems with it. But that's the one. And so I just sent that. So listen, you can donate to Cash App while we're getting this together. $ producer J87. So we don't have to play it because I will describe it. And so we can just leave that part up of the article. And so it says, did it come through to you? So it says, Flint police chief says city is not investigating kidnapped social media posts are a hoax, that it's a hoax. And so as he got into this, one of the things was this little girl, this has happened. Unfortunately, it has happened before. This isn't her first time that she has left home. So the shares on social media, and it's good that social media decided to, let's find this little girl. And that's what they did. And so they decided to, if people shared it. And so the police were forced to respond because people were responding. The community was responding. And I just screenshotted the front for you, producer Jay. And so for that part with it, so we don't have to play like the video. So so Flint police says, chief says, city is not investigating kidnapping. Social media posts are hoax. So the little girl is from Detroit area. Little girl has clearly got some problems. This is her third time. So some of the parts of the story were true, but the story was not put together. So the little girl, this is 3 times she's left home. What she often does is leave. She gets on wherever on the social media. She's been going to Mount Morris is where she was at. She had an incident in Mount Morris where she was with a man in a parking lot performing a act. So Mount Morris was working on that. She ended up at a Hutchinson's store, which is in Flint, and they did call the police. So you had 3 policing agencies: Detroit police, Mount Morris police, and Flint police. They did get the little girl back to her home, but there are some issues that they have. This little girl does have some issues. So Flint was investigating it, but so was Mount Morris and then Detroit. So there are some issues with the young girl. And I appreciate the community saying, hey, we had a child that was missing. Let's share this around. The only part about this was there were some other issues with it. And the chief did like he was supposed to, come out and speak about it, because you don't just let it slide. I wish that had been spoken about sooner, but he did come out to speak about, to set the record clear, because people were caught. Why aren't you doing anything about it? Well, this little girl, she is, this is her 3rd time. It's not that they weren't doing anything about it. There was other agencies. And when Flint got it, she was in Mount Morris. She wasn't even in Flint. And then when she got to Flint, she went in Hutchinson. That's when Flint police, when people at Hutchinson's store called, that's when Flint police showed up and they got involved. She is back with her family. She is now back with her family. So there are some serious issues because she is a repeat runaway from home. And she keeps contacting people who are picking her up from Mount Morris, from Detroit. They're picking her up from Detroit and taking her back to Mount Morris. And so there's some issues that the police are involved, 3 different agencies, and getting this young lady and her family the much needed services or wraparound services that she needs. Okay, so phone lines are open, and you can put that other one back up. So the little girl say, so if you would like to call in, You can call in, chime in. If you got questions, if it's something you want to say, you can call in at 810-354-5843. You can chime in at 810-354-5843. So if you want to call in, you got something to say. I mean, we had a lot of topics today. We talked about the cyber of the Tesla truck that blew up in front of a self-detonator. We talked about the Bourbon Street where they took the vehicles and ran over. 15 people were killed, 30 more were injured. We talked about the little girl who was missing, and do our children go missing and no one pays attention. Was hers a hoax or was it not a hoax? We talked about we're going to be in court starting Tuesday from 8 to 4 until we pick someone according to this court order. Is it legal? Is it legal? Can this be done? Once the ENAB board in good standing. So chime in. Last week we didn't have the lines working. Producer Jay, are you on there?
Yeah, I'm waiting on them.
So last week
let's lay some ground rules now. So the caller has 2 minutes, and we are not accepting repeat of callers.
We want to give everybody an opportunity to speak. So we're giving everyone an opportunity. So feel free to call in if you want to chime in. You got something that you want to say. Chime in. So there are a lot of things that are happening. What are your New Year's plan? How many people made the New Year's plan? I think one of the number one plans for New Year's for everybody is to I'm gonna start exercising and I'm gonna eat better. Those are generally.
All right, you got your first caller.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the Tanya Burns Show. What's your name and where you calling from, caller?
Hello, this is Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. I am
What's up, JWC?
Michigan.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can.
Okay, we might have a delay.
It's kind of muffled, and I think I'm hearing a delay. But anyway, I just wanted to call in and say, what a great show. Absolutely great. And I do want to chime in on the court order starting on Tuesday. I'm very disappointed. I felt like we should have received that information a couple of weeks ago, right after the decision was made. We should have been alerted as to when we should report and all of that. But I guess I also want to say I never did receive anything through email or through the mail.
So you never received any. You weren't even emailed.
I didn't hear you.
You weren't emailed at all.
Oh,
I don't think she can hear me, Producer Jay. So you may have to ask me the question.
No, she can hear you. Ask it again.
Were you emailed at all? You never received the email from Attorney Gilbert.
No, I was not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know that you sent me something, but no, they never emailed me. And I appreciate you sending me the correspondence. However, they never emailed me. So I'm upset.
Well, as you should be.
Yeah, it's very, to me, it's unprofessional. It's unprofessional. And no, the judge has not thought about the Open Meetings Act. And that should have been brought up to her.
I agree with you.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
And listen, and they don't either, because we don't have an agenda.
It's just a waste. It's just a waste of taxpayers' money. It is.
Yeah.
So what we gonna do? Sit up in a room and do the same thing that was done at the council meeting?
I don't understand. JWC, I really don't know. When I asked the question, I literally asked the question, what are the logistics? He said, well, you will probably be sitting in the jury box. I said, but you have to have public speaking. There has to be an agenda, and we cannot vote. He said, well, you're going to be in a room, and it'll be just you and the special master and voting. I said, we can't vote like that. We have to vote in the public. That's a violation of the Open Meetings Act.
Yeah. Because we're there as a body. It's a council body. It's a violation. You know what? It's all a violation. It's just all a violation. It's just a big mess. A big mess.
I'm gonna read this out, and I know there are probably people in the chat, but on page 58, and you are correct. I knew I had it. Y'all, I'll be up in the night. So Jerry, me and you are on the same page. It should not be. We should not have one. We shouldn't have two separate attorneys. Did they get it from their attorney? I want the attorney they got, because they're gonna always get the best attorney. They got Barry Wolf. Did Barry Wolf send one to them? Because 6:34 p.m., and everybody didn't get them. That's wrong. That's wrong. And so you are correct. Yep.
As far as my job, I get a late notice on a Friday evening. So what am I supposed to do as far as my job? I don't play when it comes to my job. And this council, I didn't run for council for council to interfere with my job. Hell, the council can't take care of my mortgage and my car note. I'm not going to jeopardize my job. So,
and there's no end date. I will be, and I have stated, I have asked our former attorneys cups. I've asked the city clerk. I have sent to the new attorney as on Christmas Day, the chief legal attorney, Joanne Gurley. We need to have an election sooner than May. That's what we need to do, just like they did with McDonald Ribbon. There needs to be an election. And I'm not changing from that. So, yep.
And I stated that, I said that at that press conference, and I don't care. Clerk Donahue, she does not step out to take the initiative. Even with this issue, she doesn't know anything. And why is that? She's the clerk. So I'm very disappointed. I think a lot of these issues, as far as the third ward appointment, could have been resolved had she stepped up and did what she was supposed to do. So, here I said.
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling and always sharing the show with me, because I think we may need to do another one after this. I don't know how we are supposed to do this and be in compliance with the charter and with the Open Meetings Act. And Attorney Terry Johnson Mikowski made some very good statements. I mean, and then also I did not know you were not emailed. I can't imagine, because I asked him when I talked with him, because there were two different. One, the order wasn't signed. First, I was told we don't have to go and we have to wait because she had only been retired one day. Then I received very late. I didn't get my email till 6:30 something. And that's just not the way you do business. I sent him.
You received it on your city email? Was it on your city email?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't receive anything. I looked on the city email.
Yeah. So I think that this is I don't know how do we get there and what do we do? I mean, I'm not stating it. There needs to be an election. The other election, you cannot undo a certified election. That window closed to win that case. You cannot undo that when it's been certified. It is now a part of the public record. Now the only option that is there is to have an election sooner, like they're doing for McDonald Rivet, having a one shebang one, and that is what we should be doing. One election, get it done within 45 days. We shouldn't have to wait, do a primary and a general, do a May and then the August. No. And since when did it become so important we have somebody in them seats? Mays was removed for 90 days, then 30 days. They wasn't saying for no ambassador then. Where was the ENAB board when we didn't have no representation for the first one? Where was Joe King at?
Look, the thing about it, Mays wasn't a part of the 5.
That part.
That's the thing. Mays wasn't a part of the rubber stamper.
That part. When I was removed for 30 days, where was the fact? Where was the outrage for the ENAB board, who don't even have an ombudsman, which is supposed to be their balance? They got a whole ombudsman mess. A whole mess over here.
Not even in good standing. So how can they even file how can they even sue the council?
Exactly. I think you got your radio on. All right, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. Okay. I appreciate you calling in. All right. Okay. Enjoy your afternoon. Okay. All right. Producer Jay. So if we another caller in, I do want to read page 58 of the city charter. How are we in violation? Meeting section 6-104. It states all meetings of listen. I look, y'all know my charter is in bad shape. So 6-104 mean all meetings of multi-member bodies of the city of Flint, including boards and commissions, call for a purpose of discussing the business with jurisdiction of the body and all gatherings of a quorum of more members of the body. Public notice must be given. Where's the public notice, y'all? All the council members weren't even emailed. Public notice shall be given in this manner for statutes for the meeting. Every multi-member body shall comply with state law, including the Open Meetings Act. So this is just violent. I've never seen anything like this. So we have to they forcing us to choose someone. My point is they need to have an election. Let the people choose. Let the people choose who they want for that ward. I mean, that's there was an election. Beverly Biggs got 589 votes. AC Dumas received 5. Beverly Biggs received 589. AC Dumas received 548. Third person was the late Councilman Murphy. Fourth person was Carrie Nelson. Fifth person was, I believe, Rich Jones. And so the will of the people at that time, that election has been certified. That is not a race anymore. It was not, they didn't certify. There is nothing we can do to make that. The state did not say they wouldn't certify. What the state said, they would not, that the state said that that the city of Flint had to refer to its legal department. The legal department said it was not a race because you cannot recall a person who was deceased. But the election was already in progress. The same for people that were in the election are the same for people who applied for the selection. So listen, if you tried to call in and you couldn't get in, try again. Try again. Those caller lines are open. So if you tried to get in, you couldn't get in, those calls are open. So will there be an election? I'm at the point there needs to be an election. We gave them 2 rounds to see where candidates have voted, round 4 and round 5. We saw Beverly Biggs told everyone it was okay. She first told Councilman Pfeiffer and Councilman Jarrett to vote for Dumas. They voted for Dumas. I think it's round starting 40 something. Round 71 and 72, Councilwoman Murphy Carter and myself said, okay, we'll give you the opportunity because you have to work with your colleagues. And so 71, number 1, I said, hey, she's not going to do it. So around 71, 72, we 4 of us voted for Dumas. Nobody else voted for Dumas at that time. So she was trying to show some flexibility. She stayed out her seat. Oh, she was up and down. I'm like, she is not going to vote. Ain't nobody crazy. She voted 4 and 5 were her rounds that she did. After that, it has been a no-go. So when it gets down to it, like I said, it's going to be us who has to go into court and have our own representation. And right now, the representation that we have is not equal. It's kind of like separate but unequal. You know, when we go back to Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown versus the Board of Education, I mean, it's not the same. It's just not the same. You know, we're not even getting, as you heard, she didn't even get an email, even contacted. So there's some serious things that are going on. And what are we supposed to do? And we're voting, there's supposed to be public speaking because the public gets to tell us how they want us to vote. Yeah. So if you were not able to get in, give us a call back. Call back in if you were not able to get in. So my stance on it is I am going to, they need to get an election within sooner than later. They need to make sure, that they have an election sooner. 45 days is what it takes, 45 to 60 days. Have a one shebang election. That's how I feel. And so I'm not going to change that part. That's how I feel. That's what we should be doing. And I don't know if this is, what they're going to do. We're not going to arrive at the same decisions. We're not. And over this, there was some things that people's judgment was questioned, and people were called very nasty names. I don't think that is going to fare very well with some people. I just don't. And so how do we move on? The people need to select who they want. And that has to be, for me, that is what my statement. And there's going to be discussions. Because we'll be in there to eternity. We'll be there way past. I think the election would be in August, the first Tuesday in August, or the second Tuesday in August. We'll be in here to August every day, Monday through Friday, trying to find someone. We would be in there that long. And that's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay, we got a caller.
All right, yeah, you got to pay attention to that chat because they've just been online. All right, caller.
Yeah, pop this caller on. You don't even just pop it. I'll stop talking.
All right,
so caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey y'all, this is Tia from there calling me in for
your phone is very low. You got to speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep.
Okay. Councilwoman Burns.
Yes. Oh, what happened?
She dropped. Her call dropped.
Okay,
She
listen, caller.
she has a bad connection. So we'll go to the next caller. She can call back.
Okay, go to the next caller.
And
It's the next caller up.
So they hung up. So maybe they'll call back. So you can go ahead.
Listen, call back in, and we finally got this part worked out, doing some, I don't know what you call it. So listen, if you didn't get through, call back in.
All right, here we go.
Okay, caller, what's your name? Where you calling? And welcome to the Tanya Burns Show.
Hi, Ms. Burns. This is Betty. I was calling. My question to you is, since majority of the people voted for Beverly Biggs, will you continue to vote for her?
I will more than likely continue to vote, but if we have discussions, I want an election. So okay. I don't know what our discussions are going to be. I hope they start off with discussions, since we don't even have an agenda and these meetings aren't posted, and it's a clear violation of our Open Meetings Act. And so what we need to do, in my opinion, is put it to a vote. And we need to put it to a vote. So, and I guess what happened. So, all right. I don't think that we're going to be, I don't think that whoever we vote for, and let me be clear with this, those four will never vote for Beverly Biggs. They will not. They are not going to do it, because they have, you watch those interviews and what they have consistently said and tried to put her out, they don't like her, and they're very clear on it. Liddell Lewis, her comments, when she went to telling people how to act, I couldn't find them videos quick enough to try to put them up where she was showing where she lacked decorum. Did the call drop?
I mean, you answered her question, so I think she hung up. Yeah.
So I couldn't find the videos quick enough. So I think that when we talk about that, I think some of the issues are going to be, they're not going to vote. So and I'm gonna be honest, it don't matter if we voted for Rich Jones, which I'm not going to. Rich Jones I don't know what's going on with him nowadays, but we're not going to come to an agreement. We're not. I have said that that she was the top vote getter, but now it needs to go to a vote of the people. It needs to, and I hope we have discussion first to let the special master know we did 100 and something rounds, and it is not going to change. It is not going to change. And I think for Beverly Biggs, her best choice of getting that seat would have been, number one, having her case and arguing the process, how the process was done when she went to court. And she didn't prevail in that. She did not. And so this whole I think they robbed her of the seat. Absolutely, because remember, we got precinct 10. Precinct 10, I think, was their trump card, just in case Beverly Biggs or AC Dumas won. We can say, well, guess what, y'all? Precinct 10, we didn't give everybody a vote. I think that was a trump card to use to make sure they didn't have to certify the election. How do you miss a whole group of people? And how was the county and how was the city operating on separate maps? I don't understand that. How did they operate on separate maps? I really don't. So I don't even know what this process is going to be like when we get there Tuesday. And we haven't received anything. And I think we put up what it was, what they sent us. That's all we got and what I read. We got nothing else. Show up, 10 to 12, and then 1 to 4. and you're going to be there until you pick someone. That's all we got. That was it until you find someone. From here till I guess August, if we continue to stay 4-4. I will not be voting for. I stated my reasons who I won't be voting for. But what if we're having discussion and the special master asks, I will consistently say there needs to be an election. We need to have a special election like McDonald Rivet, because we're not going to solve this. We're not. We're just not. So callers, if anyone else, if you want to call in and you weren't able to get through, we can put up some of the comments on there, and I will address some of those. So listen, I appreciate everyone actually who's taking the time out and taking the time to post your comments. Next week is going to be interesting. I did not know all my colleagues did not get a copy of what we're supposed to be doing on Tuesday. Did not know that. So you learn something new. I mean, that's this kind of the basic thing is make sure everyone is notified with proper notice in time. Tara said the first ward should have voted for Carol McIntosh. Let's start there. I agree. I absolutely agree. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we wouldn't be in this predicament. Carol would have been a fifth vote for the people to do what is right. And then she would have voted more than likely because she knows Beverly Biggs is she would work for, the people. And it's not a light contest, whether Beverly get in that seat or not. We're all supposed to do what's right. I believe Carol would have voted or would have, selected Beverly. We would have had 6 votes to do the business, to make sure we're continuing to take care of the business for the city. People get through in some of these groups, and you got to be careful who you listen to. I'm serious. You got to be careful. That is why I put up the facts. Merck 76 says, I pray y'all can resolve quickly. Merck 76, unless it is an election, I don't see how it's going to get resolved. We are 4-4. We are 4-4. And we're not, they're not going to change. And I don't think anybody on the other side, of the 4 is going to change. Country Bama, I want to see Leon at the sleepover with the seniors and support them. They voted him in that seat. Ooh. He probably won't be at the sleep-in, Country Bama, because he wasn't at their press conference, but he was at the press conference that the mayor gave. He did not support them at their press conference over there. He didn't. I think that First Ward is now having some of the people that I have talked to are having some regrets because they're saying they're not able to reach him. And asking, me for, I'm going to help everybody, and if you're calling me. But I think that's why we have to start educating ourselves on when we vote and looking at people voting patterns. We have to. He did state that Miss Bev will be there as a director. She's not going anyplace. We know right after that election, that changed. Merck 76, so y'all have to be in court all day and then a council meeting. Yeah, on Wednesday, that's exactly how that goes. So Wednesday, we do have to be in there all day, and we be in court 10, and then we have a council meeting. I don't even know what's on our agenda for Wednesday because we have not received our agendas yet. And so more than likely, because it's the new year, our agendas are probably going to be long. So we have not seen them yet at all. Is this what we do in voters' remorse in the First Ward? I can tell you, I had a lady left, I played the recording. She said he hung up on her.
Well, Leon can go over there and have that sleepover and play football and basketball with them singers.
that was some of the things they said they was gonna do. Listen, I want to see that too. Now we got some legends that are over there, but listen, they ain't got them good knees no more. They don't have them good knees. So, listen, We still have the phone lines open if you are in the chat and you want to call in phone. I'm surprised Jessica didn't call in. Jessica is actually on here. She normally will call in and has some very some good points. And I'm surprised she's all in the chat. Someone said, can Leon be recalled? I don't know. I don't know. He's finishing a term. And so the charter states you cannot be recalled in your first year and last year, but he's finishing a term. So his term, the term of that seat, I don't know. I don't know. And that's a good question. And I guess that would be for Candace too. So that would have to be having, someone, a legal opinion would have to be given. I don't know. And so they are behaving in the chat today. They are behaving. So like I said, you tell me some Leon need to be in the at the sleepover. I don't understand how do you, with a clear conscience, not support the seniors, and when you told them you would. And so the play what they getting is saying that the center isn't closing, but the city's going to take it over, but you're kicking out the vendor that has been there, who has stood in good standing, who just signed a contract with the county and received their funding. So we have a caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? And welcome to the Tanya Burns Show.
Hey, this is Tia calling from here, there, and everywhere. But I'll bring you greetings from my couch in North Carolina. And my first question is, are you on the show one Saturday so he can take some calls? I would love to know how he feels about the ambassador position and how RL is doing.
Oh, she dropped again.
She's having connection problems with her phone.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I think she's back now. Yep, it just dropped.
Yeah, I had to. Okay.
But she was talking about maybe bringing RL on the show to get his opinions on.
Man, that would go so loud. We have to do interviews just one-on-one with RL. We have to do them one-on-one, and that's what we have. So RL doesn't even have a cell phone. So he does not. He doesn't have a cell phone, and he claims he don't know how to work one, which I don't know if that's true about RL. Because RL be talking about something. Look, RL loves the ladies, y'all. He loves the ladies. Jessica said, I wonder if Paul is exploiting him. Listen, he might be. I am deeply troubled with how Paul has treated some of the women. Him calling women Miss Taylor a dumb bitch, him calling Billy Dantzler a dumb bitch, a stupid bitch, telling her F you. The fact that he talks to women in such a negative, disrespectful way is a problem for me. It's a problem for me. His respect for women is terrible. It's terrible. Or his lack of respect for women. And that's a problem for me. So you have another caller?
Yeah, go ahead.
So caller, welcome to the Tanya Burns Show. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, Ms. Burns. This is Christine Leach. I'm calling from Pittsburgh. And I want to say thank you for all that you do, and thank you that you created a platform that me and my road dogs, they know they are Jessica, Tara, Sheena, Jade, that we could come and we can conversate in peace and just talk intellectually on what is going on with Flint. And I just wanted to make this comment though, that I think that when the little boys, what happened to them in the fire, the unfortunate incident, I think that if you guys would have went strong, and you probably did because I wasn't following the story then. I only followed the story Mr. Mays brought me to be interested in Flint. But I think if y'all would have went hard on that mayor, I think that would have eliminated a lot of the problems that you have now, because he is definitely the corporate and all of this that's going on with you. But I'm proud of you. I really like producer Jay, and this is a safe haven for me to come and chat, and I appreciate it so much, your platform.
Well, thank you, Christine Leach, and I appreciate you supporting us. And look, always feel free to call in. You don't have to agree with me. My kids don't agree with me all the time. I'm gonna tell you, and they got a lot of talk back. I'll be like, I keep hearing this from y'all. I want to hear this. So I appreciate it. And I don't want people to always agree with me. So I appreciate you calling in, and I'm
talk to you. I never got a chance to talk to you, so I'm glad that this platform I'm able to even speak to you, because I admire you as a black woman. I admire you. You keep pushing. You keep doing what you have to do for the people, and us sisters just want to back you. So don't worry about that. I'm with you, and I'm on the same page as you.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate your support. Thank you, Christine.
Okay, much love.
Enjoy your weekend and Happy New Year's.
You too. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So one of the things Christine talked about, which was the Mitchell boys who died in the fire on Pulaski Street and with the fire chief. So there's two separate cases. Good point. Where is it at? They have got great attorneys, both of them. We have got, y'all, let's hit that like button. If everybody on it just hit the like button one time. So there's two parts. It's the Mitchell boys. They have got great attorneys, and it's in court. The two little black boys who lost their lives in the fire, where they were left in the house, and they end up eventually, sadly, dying from smoke inhalation. So they gave the all clear, said that the all clear was up, and no one was in the house. A second fire truck arrived, and the second fire truck arrived, went in the house, and found the two little boys there. And they started performing, got them out the house and started performing CPR, called, of course, ambulance was there. And eventually, I think one of the little boys lived for 10 days. Mom lost two of her children. There was a, and I don't know if we can play this. We need to play with Dr. Ritchie, where he had played about the fire. I don't know if we can play Dr. Ritchie's on here because I don't know if we can, but he nailed it. So when it came to us before the election, it was hidden. They didn't talk about it. So the family is now suing the two little boys for $50 million. That lawsuit is still ongoing. And we still have Fire Chief Barton, who was let go because he told the truth. Imagine that, getting fired, terminated for telling the truth. And so he was let go. He's suing the city for $10 million. He's suing for $10 million, and his case is still going. I don't know exactly where his case is at, but I need to do an update on that. And then the two Mitchell boys, the parents are suing, and that is in court. And so they've got great attorneys, but keep that family still in your prayers, because those families, what happened to them, losing two little boys, it was in May. We did not finish because that was the time we had 5 votes. We didn't have enough votes to have the hearing again on exactly what happened with the investigation, because Judy Priestley decided she wasn't going to complete it anymore. She changed her mind. Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, when it came time to vote for the investigation, look, that seat spun around. Soon as they said, when the clerk says, Councilwoman Lewis, she was up out that seat. So she did not vote for the special investigation, and we did not complete it because Judy dropped out of it. She said she wasn't going to go any further, and so and that was a problem. And so that is it is in court, and I don't know where. I know they're negotiating, and I'll have to check into that. So some of the things that I did send, and I'm hoping with this new attorney, her official day was Monday. So one of the things that I did ask her, my number one asked question is, where is the water settlement money? I'm asked that question, I feel like almost every day. City of Flint does not disperse the water settlement money. So no other attorney wanted to talk about it. I did ask the city attorney if she could speak about it, have someone come tell the residents at city council, because that's where they get their information. If they could tell them, where's the water settlement money? What is the status? Listen, y'all, we don't know. The city is not paying that out. We don't know. Miss T, I have no idea what the status of his recall is. I do not know. I don't know. So the number's up if you want to call in. So look, yeah, I almost lost my train of thought. Oh, what I said. So I asked her if we could please have a response for that. Where's the water settlement money? I also asked for a request to have what is our water quality. On September 23rd, we were not able to ask questions. That's when they did everything called for the question, and there was no discussion. The DPW manager or director, I don't know what his title is, he was there. Scott Dungy was there. Jeanette Best was there to answer questions with our water treatment plant, with our with the one on Linden Road, and then the one on Dort Highway, and Linden Beecher, and then on Dort Highway. They weren't able to ask any questions. And so I've asked to have them to come back, because we need to know where are we at in the service line replacement. Service line replacements have been taken over by the state of Michigan. State of Michigan is completing the service line restorations, the service line replacement, and service line restoration. And I believe we played the video of Congressman Kildee about that. We played that video. And so, but we need to have the residents where we at. And so we have a call.
All right, y'all have to hold on 1 second. She dropped out of the studio for some reason, so give us a second.
Okay, I got locked out for a minute. Okay,
Yeah, you dropped out for some reason.
Listen, 6 Ward, the internet does not work. You know my stuff over here is shady.
All right, we got a caller coming in right now.
All right, caller, welcome to the Tanya Burns Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good morning. Hey, Miss Burns, this is Joseph Williams in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Not Tuscaloosa.
Yes,
How you doing? And Happy New Year.
I want to tell you thank you so much for all y'all do up there in Flint, Michigan.
Listen, is that your wife in the background?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I wanted to call and tell you thank you so much for what y'all do up there in Flint, Michigan.
Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate you calling from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, because whatever, what's going on in Flint, like you said, that can happen anywhere. Here, Texas, Georgia, wherever. And so I just kind of keep up on what's going on up there because it can happen here where I'm at. So I've learned so much from y'all, and I really appreciate y'all so much.
Well, listen, I appreciate you and I appreciate you calling and your support because it can happen anywhere. One of the things I believe is educating ourselves and making sure that, knowledge is truly power. Not just if when I was a kid, we used to watch the Schoolhouse Rock, knowledge is power. And so we have to give ourselves knowledge and educate ourselves on some basic things. So thank you for calling in from Tuscaloosa. I hope you enjoy your weekend.
Yes, ma'am, you too.
Thank you. So, listen, I appreciate you. I like hearing, I never know what your voices sound like. I may read your comments. Mark Hutchison says, with regard to water settlement, pipe replacement, and the like, it frightens me that your organizations aren't all over this. NAACP, churches, Black Lives Matter. Are they all paid off? Mark, everybody should be concerned. Everybody. We cannot drink water. It is not safe from the tap. So you cannot drink them without a filter. That's another thing which I sent the email. I would like some. So some of the emails, which I have not gotten responses from. One is I sent the email stating that we need to have someone to come from the DPW department to explain why there are people. I'm getting complaints with people stating that there is a ring in their toilet, and these are people who clean their bathrooms, and they're flushed, multiple times. But the rings are appearing. There seems to be a black sediment inside of the toilets, and some are complaining of a chemical smell, and some are saying a smell that is a lot like a rotten egg smell. So there are different types of smells. So I sent an email for that. Haven't heard about the water settlement money. Haven't heard about the rings in the toilets and the smell from the water. Haven't heard about that. Haven't heard about the infrastructure, the 17 projects. Where are we at with that? So I have got emails out there, y'all, and asking, is having this administration come and be transparent, and they're not transparent. They just don't answer stuff. We haven't gotten the transcripts before. That is actually the clerk's responsibility. So Sheena B said, will you ever interview former Little Miss Flint? She is a teenager now. So if you have got people you would like for me to interview, I can certainly reach out to her. So you like Little Miss Flint. And who else would you guys like to see? If it's someone that you would like to see that I would interview, let me know. I have asked, someone had put in the chat for Miss Beverly Biggs. I have talked to her about that before, and she declined that. So, but she has got an open invitation if she would ever like to come on so we could hear her side. But I have asked her before. Little Miss Flint would be a good one. She ain't little no more. She's Miss Teenager. Yeah, and she is in high school. That time goes by. We figured this last year was the 10th anniversary. This year in April will be the 11th year anniversary. 11 years. So March 76, are these organizations that receive ARPA funds should report back in this new year and how funds were dispersed to help citizens. Accountability for 2025 is a month. Merck 76, I've always stated, we get 5 people. Absolutely, call them the back. I want to look. They need to do a presentation. They can do 4 slides. 6 is preferable. Let us know what you did with the money. Show us how it was appreciated inside of the how it was how it was spent. Flint After Dark podcast. Maurice Davis. I'm not even addressing him, so don't bring. Not addressing him at all. So at all. Jessica, Ms. Burns, are you still being targeted by disgruntled? And look, the what's the name? slid down. Are you still being targeted by disgruntled relatives of your disgruntled colleagues? Is your recall effort still moving along? No, what they're doing with the recalls is looking for, they stated, malfeasance. And so malfeasance, they wanted to rise to the level of malfeasance. Now, what they had stated when I went, because there was discussion that they were saying, and look, I sat around to listen. So what they're looking for is that they're looking to change, and they were already looking to change it at the state level. So they are already working with the state. So they wanted to rise to the level that if you are removed from office, they want it to be something that's criminal or a violation. So that is what they're working on. And so they're not going to approve anything unless it rises to a level now of malfeasance. And that was what they stated when we were there. And so do you plan on still doing the show at endometriosis? Yes, Sheena, I absolutely am. I am looking for a physician who can, or a physician's assistant who can talk about it. I want to talk about the medical side. And if I can't find someone from the medical side, what I will do is still have the discussion, because we know that 80% of women of color, and that's all color, have issues. And so I would like to do, I'm gonna have to work this out with producer Jay. You know, he's gonna have a bunch of women on, and I would like to do like a panel of it, because I think each person has a story and we can give people a certain amount of time.
I ain't complaining about a whole bunch of women on. I mean,
you ain't complaining about a whole bunch of women. Well, it's gonna be a whole bunch of women. So I have to figure out how we're gonna do that, because one thing with me sharing my story, I have had a lot of women say Taylor Sampson had said, or was it Simpson? Taylor has said she has, Sheena, you have talked about, and other women have opened up, because generally when you have these issues, people don't talk about it, and what your bodies go through, and if you have surgery, what type of surgeries are available. How do you heal about this? And people don't get, when you have endometriosis, the pain. You don't understand the pain that you go through. And I remember at 18, I was told I would never have any children. And at that time, I had seen 5 specialists along with my primary. And then my OB, my gynecologist also. Then it was Dr. Mawada. Since then, I have changed. I now have a woman gynecologist, and so I think these are topics that we need to talk about. And I'm gonna tell a funny story. When I had my surgery, I could not. I was very sick up until to where I had lost endometriosis. The fibroids were feeding. Like all of the blood in my body was feeding to the fibroids, was taking it. And so I had one of the largest fibroids. My doctor, actually the largest fibroid. It was the size of a 32-week-old fetus. And so my hair was falling out. My hair, was so short in different spaces that it was the first time that I had ever gotten a weave. So I went from my hair being from about right here to my hair being, it was short. And it was the first time I gotten a weave. And my beautician at the time was State Representative Cynthia Neely. And she was like, nope, I know what I'm gonna do. And she would do my hair. She put in my first weave, and to make my hair back full, because my hair had fallen out because I was so anemic. So when you have endometriosis, most of the women are, they suffer from anemia. I used to have to go to the hospital to get iron infusions in the arm, where you go there and they put the iron in your arm, and you're in there like with the cancer patient treatment. And I would have to go do that because I was so sick. And when it got to the point where my doctor literally said to me, because when you run your own business, you can't stop working and you don't get days off. And I was working then predominantly, my time was spent in Illinois. And he said, either you stop what you're doing or you're going to die. So I could not push it out any further to get surgery. And so when I got surgery, it grew, the fibroids grew just tremendously large. And they don't know why they got that large. And so when they removed them, it throws your body into a menopause, is what they state. I never had hot flashes, never had to put my head in the freezer. So I was blessed with that. I was able to still keep an ovary and a fallopian tube, but just look, your girl wasn't having no more kids anyways. They could have removed all that years ago. But women who suffer from endometriosis, you usually have 10 days to 14 days that you really just suffer in pain, and you go through a lot. So women who share that, it's not easy, because you can't do everything that you want to do. I remember not being able to travel because I had to plan around, I knew I would be sick during this time. And so I missed conferences. I missed certain things because I knew I couldn't travel, wouldn't dare fly or anything else. So I had to plan my life around this. And it was hard. But they told me I wouldn't have kids, which was not true. I gave birth to 3 healthy children, my 3 babies. And I think I shared the story at the time where, I was pregnant with triplets, at least triplets. And I would have to literally every day go to the hospital, get my blood taken, because they didn't know how many I was carrying. But one of them was in a fallopian tube. And I had so many problems, but it was at least 3. And I'm like, what would I have done with triplets? But the one of the I don't even know what you call it. It burst in the fallopian tube, sent me to the hospital in an emergency, and it is the worst pain and can actually take your life. Actually, my neighbor, Scott, my husband at the time was not at home, and he had taken my son to get his hair cut, and it was on a Saturday, and so they had went to Otis's barbershop on Lippincott, and I called my neighbor Scott. I was dusting. I went to pick up a statue off the table and to clean it, and I had the worst pain. Called my neighbor. I knew I needed to get to the hospital. Everyone in my house was gone but me. And I called my neighbor Scott, and Scott, God bless his heart, he is a Republican, and him and I were and still are good friends. We're just at a function. I put Scott up on my page. It's the white guy with the glasses. And Scott was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? And I couldn't move. It's the worst pain when it ruptured. And I'm like, Scott, you gotta move my legs. I can't move them because the pain didn't allow me to move them. End up going by hospital to the hospital by ambulance. I was in the hospital for days. And so I ended up miscarrying, and then they had to remove the tube because it had ruptured. So when we talk about women's bodies are very intricate, and we go through a lot. And so, men, we need y'all to give us some grace. Okay, give us some grace. And so I am very thankful for my children, because it was a time when I was 18 that they told me when I went for a follow-up with endometriosis, I was going to doctors by myself, and they say, you will never have children. You will have to have IVF or in vitro fertilization at some point, because you have endometriosis, and it's very serious. So we will talk about endometriosis. And I'm going to tell you, y'all, I would have threw myself in traffic. It was at least 3, and it was probably more. So I would have thrown myself in traffic. But I absolutely love my children. My children, God has blessed me with these wonderful kids that allow me to do what I do. I have not had issues. I don't have any grandkids, y'all. So if y'all pray I get some grandkids. I will take a oops by accident grandchild. Okay, I will absolutely do that. My kids are like, you made parenting so real that You made us understand, and you made us get back that we're going to live our best lives. We want to keep our paychecks to ourselves. You always told us them how keto lessons cost. You know how much them keto lessons cost? Do you know how much gymnastics cost? Do you know how much that flute costs? Do you know how much those drums cost? Do you know how much that baseball equipment costs? Do you know how much that football equipment costs? They told me I made parenting too real. They're like, no, we gonna pay our own kids. So I don't have any grandkids, and everybody like their little grandbabies. I have great nieces, which I love. I brought my great niece to, her name is London. And y'all, and London was really good, but London at home, she is not a good child, but she know when her ain't tiny, she don't play. So I do want to say that part. Shardy Shard said, you are a walking miracle, Councilwoman Burns, my Lord. Shardy, I'm gonna tell you something. When Sheena B put up there, I'm gonna show y'all what I was carrying around in me. And my kids, I remember my kids were sitting at, I'm a type of person that if I'm in the hospital, pray for me. Don't come see me. Okay. I'm trying to get up out of there. I don't want to be in there. Hospitals don't keep you. They don't keep you. I was in there for 10 days. And it was a guy, Robert. I had a private room, but you can hear Robert all throughout that. I'm going to pull the cord. I said, pull the damn cord. Just pull the cord, Robert, because you're so tired and so much pain. And I remember my kids sitting, my two younger kids, not my two older kids, not my youngest son. I didn't want to worry him because he was still in school then. He just graduated and goes to U of M. And he wants to be a cardiologist. And so I remember my kids sitting at the end of the bed, and they're like, well, Mom, we were really, and I'm telling them, my daughter was there with her husband, and I hadn't told them everything. So when the doctor was in there, my daughter would, the oldest child is always the attorney for all the kids. It's the spokesperson. And she went to telling, and she always, ma'am, you didn't tell us this. Ma'am, we didn't know this was this serious. And I never told them, because I never wanted them to worry. So endometriosis is serious. But the thing that really made me, I'm looking at my kids' faces, the two oldest ones, the middle and the oldest, and that's the face that you really remember. And I don't want women to take your health seriously and get it, and don't put it off like I did. Mine grew so bad, and I waited till it was late because I was running the business, and I should have taken off from it. I should have. And so I want women to take their bodies serious. Listen to what your body is saying. And so my son afterwards, the middle son, so I had to go. I couldn't do anything. And they were like, ma'am, you can't drive yourself. They give you narcotics. I remember when I woke up, I was like, look, I want morphine or whatever they got, give it to me. So they give you the button. Y'all, your girl was double clutching every time because I was in so much pain. I think I got my daughter. I was so out of it. Some of the stuff I don't even remember that I said. But I want women to take their health serious, especially women of color, because endometriosis and fibroids are so serious. And there's different type of treatments. So I am going to share. And if you have got fibroids or you want to share your story, y'all, hit me up in the chat. Hit me in the chat because I want to have you a part of the panel. Producer Jay said he don't mind all the women. So I want to normalize some things about our bodies that normally is Black women, because a lot of us are single moms. We are the head of our household, so we can't afford to take off. We aren't aware of what's going on. I've had women say religiously that they don't want to get it done, and they're like weighing it. Should I get it done or should I? Yeah, get it done, because you need to do that. I was in the hospital for 10 days, left 4 days early because I wasn't trying to stay in the. It's not like your own bed and your own sheets. And when we come out, Sheena B says she's going to jump in on the conversation, and Producer Jack, You want to jump in now, Sheena B? Or you want to wait? So if so, call in. And that number is up there. It's the number up there, Producer Jay. I want women to take it serious, because when I look at it and people say, oh gosh, she fell behind, and I never filed bankruptcy. I chose to live, and what I suffered through for so long. And like I tell you, my story is not necessarily unique. I went through a financial hardship, but I will never apologize for getting better and taking care of my family. I will never apologize for that. I will not do that. I will not do that. And I'm gonna share my story, and I'm gonna tell you, when I put up my fibroid, y'all gonna be shocked. So, and my doctor was like, "You really want a picture of it?" I said, "Yes, I do," because I don't want other young women. I have talked to so many young women. Then afterwards, our body, we need vitamin D3 if we're women of color to build that back up. We need iron. And so my body wasn't producing a lot of any of that. But again, I'm thankful. They told me I'd never have kids. I got 3 wonderful children, no grandchildren. But if y'all want me to teach y'all kids sex education, clearly I'm good at it, and I overtaught it because I ain't got no grandkids. I normalized talking about the human body, and I taught them sex education to where they like, we don't even want any kids. We good. No. So if you need somebody to teach it to your kids, I'm your girl for that. I'm your girl. So listen. So Country Bear said, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting us 100 likes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyways, if you still want to call in, we're going to close out. Producer Jay, how are we on time? We good? Look, I did not plan on talking about endometriosis. So Sheena B said, my doctor looked at me crazy when I asked pictures too. Sheena B, I wish you would call in to share your part, because we're going to do it again and talk about it with a panel of women. Because, and I like that Black women, we're saying we are aware of our bodies. And we have to be, and it is serious, and men, get your prostates checked. Get your prostate checked. Please do. Get your prostates checked. It's things that nobody want to go in with the, they don't want the little finger with the cough. Now they don't want to do that. Get it done. It's between you and your physician. Get yourselves checked. Get yourselves checked. I mean, and there is free testing for a lot of this. If you don't have insurance, we have different programs that will help you in the city of Flint. And get yourself checked. So I want people in. We got a caller?
No.
Ready to go?
15, 20 minutes left.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
So,
okay. All right. Thank you. So men, get your prostate checked. If you are coughing, pay attention to your bodies. Our white counterparts live longer than we do. They don't have the amount of stress that we have. Their stress levels are not the same as our Black people. We're going to stress about, can I pay the cable bill? Can I pay the energy bill? Can I pay the water bill? We stress about everything. As I am into my position, and I look at, God put me here for whatever reason it is. I'm going to work for the people. I'm going to fight for the people. So a blessing is saying, hey, you got your cable on, your water on, the furnace is working, and gas in your car and groceries in your refrigerator. That don't include, hey, I need a trip to Mexico. I need a trip to the Maldives. Some of the things we learn to treasure. I've done all the travel. I've flown on private jets. Now it's time for me to work for my community. You can't dazzle me with the other. I've done all of that. What I didn't do is I worked like a dog as a Black woman, was made sure I put my health first. And that's what I want when Black women, and I'm going to say a Black woman, I'm a Black woman. In my circle, we work and grind. And I didn't take care of myself the way I should have. I was going regularly. My doctor kept saying, you got to get the surgery done. I'm like, how much time am I going to be down? It could be 6 to 8 weeks time. It could be 12 weeks. I didn't have a 12-week thing, to where I felt in my mind, I could take off from, running my business. And I just kept working. So then what had happened? I had to take off. Wasn't no, it's like, you got to get it done or die. That's what's going to happen. You are bleeding to death. My levels were so low when I had surgery. He was like, you're going to have to get some blood from someone else. You don't even have enough blood for us to take because they will use your own. I didn't have enough. I did not even have enough. Sheena B, it's true. I had stage 4 cancer and was dying. I didn't know until it was damn near too late. God is good. Oh, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Oh, and you know what? Thank you for sharing your story, Sheena. I think that someone put in here, and I'm glad I appreciate your commentary, Sheena, and you sharing your open testimony. And yes, we do have to pay attention to our bodies. Jessica says, no worries, Ms. Burton. Women's healthcare is a very important conversation. Thank you for having it, for creating a safe and welcoming space for women in general. Thank you for that, Jessica. I'm going to show you my mother, which if my phone ring and my mama call, I'm taking a call. My mother is a survivor of cancer. My mother she was a single mom. She worked really hard. And it was kind of like an agreement. My mom, it was me and my sister in the house. And so my mom worked. I went to school. I took care of my younger sister. She's 7 years younger. And so it was kind of like I was like her mama, really, my younger sister. And so it was kind of like an agreement. My mother always worked. My mother now, she's had 4 strokes. She's having a difficult time walking. She has physical therapy, which is really going to be a problem. She just got back New Year's Day with my sister. And so my mom is going to come first over this course. I don't know what they're going to look. Your girl might be in jail because my mother has doctor's appointments. She has 9 doctors. She survived cancer and uterine cancer. And so it really made me look at not only my life, but I've always told my daughter. Matter of fact, I gave my daughter at 15 the insurance card. If you ever feel sick or something you need to do, you schedule an appointment with your doctor and went to her doctor, the pediatrician, which our 18-year-old still goes to the pediatrician, Dr. Crowley, which we have children like 7 days apart. And he's like, Christian can come see me forever. But pay attention to your bodies. My mom survived a lot. And we need to make sure that we are around. And healthcare for us, for women of color, is not as obtainable. Many times we may work lower jobs and working 2 to 3. We don't have time to go to the doctor. And we need to start talking about it and normalizing it. Me and my girlfriends, I'm saying me, Stephanie, and Carol, we talk about everything. I talk about it with my friend, my very close friends, Iquana. We talk about it. And we talk about it. It's a safe space because I'm very open. I talk about it. So we have no more call-ins. And so we didn't kind of got off. Men, get your prostate check if you don't hear. Take care of you because if you have children, we want you to be around. And make sure, look, check y'all blood pressure. Listen, we want to make sure blood pressure is one of the silent killers along with stroke. Make sure you take care of yourself. And blood pressure is for everyone. Get that diabetes. Follow your instructions. If you got diabetes, take your medication. Y'all ain't supposed to be drinking that cola, Coke, a cola, Pepsi, and eating cakes, cookies, and candy. I'm telling y'all. So look, I need my folks to take better care of themselves so we can have topics and talk about this. This is so, so important. So to each and every one of you who joined us today, I appreciate you giving us your time, sharing it. Click like and share. Producer Jay, I appreciate you for working out the kinks in the phone system. So we are good with the phone system. So is that going to be our call-in number all the time?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So listen, before we go, donations are kindly accepted through Cash App with Producer J, Cash App, $ Producer J87. Those funds allow us to bring topics like these and questions, and we can have open dialogue. So if it's $5, $10, $20, 25 or 50, it is greatly appreciated, as we will have to update some of our equipment with some mics and different things, and we are adding things, adding in the caller, the caller list. We've got to change a couple of things. Technology can be outdated in 6 months. That is the normal thing. So all this goes to improve our show, to make sure we can bring shows like this, and making sure that we can have a safe environment. And listen, I don't think everybody's going to agree with me, and you're not supposed to, because everybody has different experiences in life. And as we have different experiences, we move forward. But I want to leave you with something that we can all appreciate. I want you to take care of you, because I have learned to take care of me. Take care of you, and I'm going to take care of me. Now remember, donations, Cash App, $ producer J87. Producer J, you that guy. We was on the phone 6 o'clock in the morning. You and Steve called me, and Steve said, she ain't awake at this time. He's like, oh, I'm going to call. And of course I was awake. He was like, what are you doing? I think I told you the first time. I was like, I'm putting on my moisturizer. I have been watching Black documentaries over the past 2 months. I'm really into this. Y'all don't sleep on Ida B. Wells. Don't sleep on Ida B. Wells. Put it in on YouTube. We're coming up with Dr. King. I celebrate Black history all through the year. But Ida B. Wells, don't sleep on it. We've got some powerful women and some things that our history is oral history, and most often not even told. It's just not. So, Producer Jay, anything that you want to, and thank you, Country Bama, for making sure that you're asking people to get the likes up and click like and share. And subscribe. Look, he done did the whole thing. $, producer J87. Eddie Gray, much love to you, and I will let Councilwoman JWC know too. Listen, if y'all are available on Sunday, 7 o'clock, Hasselbring Center, they have a lock-in. Come support. Please support. Our producer Jay, is there anything you would like to close with?
No. If you'll talk for 3 or 4 more, about 3 minutes, I'm going to put something up. But just talk like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, look, now he just come giving me now he going to the point where people say Tanya Burns all she do is talk. Listen, Shardy say Ida B. Wells was such a queen, and yes, they have got good documentaries free on YouTube. God was off the chain. You talk about some great examples of leadership. Listen, YouTube has got some great documentaries. Now, if you watch 6888, I had put in the link on my page to the real Charity Adams, retired as Lieutenant Colonel, and she's got a little green shirt. I put that up on my page. When I watch a good movie, a good documentary, I'll be like, let me go find this, and to see what else I can find. But you hear her talking in her interview, and it's a great, great interview. Great interview. And I appreciate that. I love history, because I'm not able to do what I'm doing because somebody paved the way for me. And we have had some great women. You know, we did not learn about when I learned about in school was really Dr. King, and that was it. And so when I went to college, I was just really kind of like, that's all I want to talk about is Dr. King, Dr. King. And I remember I had to do a paper on Dr. King. And that's when I really learned who Dr. King was. But there's so many other great people, Sojourner Truth, and how did we, how Black women contributed to the women's suffrage movement, women's rights, and then the civil rights. So we have got Ida B. Wells, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. We have got Dr. Maya Angelou. We have got oh God, y'all know that there's just so many. The tennis player. I mean, and it's so many great contributions. Mary McLeod Bethune, read her book when I was in 2nd grade. And I got it only because I saw a Black woman on the book in the school library. And I wanted to, Fannie Lou Hamer. Live, laugh, and Fannie Lou Hamer was the real deal. There's a documentary, several documentaries on Fannie Lou Hamer, and they were upset when she went to speak to where the president actually got in there to interrupt her speech when she spoke at Congress. Okay, so what am I looking at? What am I looking at, Producer Jay? Fannie Lou was Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm, that's another one. Look, don't play with that chair, y'all. She got one about that chair, that folding chair. Give her a folding chair. So listen, it is so many great people with so many great things in each episode. Probably will start next week. I will show a Black History fact, and I like to show Black History fact. I don't know who Daisy Banks is, Jessica. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna know next week. So what am I looking at?
It's the Facebook page.
Okay, because it's small. So what are we asking people to do?
We're asking people to go and follow the Facebook page.
Okay, so listen. Go ahead.
Producer moment. You forgot.
Oh, Producer Jay.
All right, I'm going back on mute.
No, why?
Before you cuss me out.
No, I'm not.
Facebook page.
Look, we're doing this together. Okay, so Producer Jay and I'm like, look, y'all, this is live. So Producer Jay, I both want you to go over to on Facebook, the Tanya Burns Show. Click like, share, and subscribe. So if you are on, please go to the Tanya Burns Show on the Facebook page. Click like, share, and subscribe. If you could please do that. Need you to go on and click like, share, and subscribe. So if you can head on over there, if you have a Facebook, please click like, share. Sheena B said, get her earpiece. Sheena B,
she ain't gonna use it.
I'm not. I ain't earpiece. I got 2 sets of earpods.
We have a private chat that she barely checks.
You're right. I hate an earpiece, y'all. I don't like nothing in my ear. That's just, I don't like that. And so I don't even know where my earpods are for my cell phone. I'm gonna be honest with you. I will talk on speaker, and but I let people know if it's who's in the But
you had to bring up AirPods. You had to bring up AirPods, didn't you?
I just don't like nothing in my ear. That's the I don't like nothing in my ear. I don't. I don't. But I agree. I should wear them. I just don't like to. I should, but I don't like to. So, Sheena B said, check the private chat then, Burns. Y'all listen. He not only tells me to check the private chat, I'm gonna tell you, he will inbox me too. And the problem is I'm sitting up here with the little raggedy charter and going over stuff, which that's one of the raggedy. And then I keep a bunch of notes. And my iPad, I think it is broke down and died because the charger won't charge. So I got to send it to my son. Told me, the middle son who got all this talk back, he was like, ma'am, you do know that they don't last forever. Ma'am, it's probably time to get you a new one. I'm like, okay, you got all that talk back. So it won't charge. I can't get it to charge. But Mark Hutchinson said, Tanya, talk for 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm done talking for 3 minutes. Look, y'all go over to that page, please. Click like, share, subscribe on Facebook to the Tanya Burns Show. Listen, I appreciate everybody. Miss J, tell me so you have to get the earpiece. Miss J, I'm on the struggle bus with that, okay? And so Jessica said, are you swatting and flying? One I have blocked. Okay, y'all funny. So anyways, Producer Jay, did I do my job? Because you did yours.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in our private chat right now.
Well, it wasn't, not now, but it was earlier.
Yeah, it was. I thought, look, I did better than I normally do in the private chat.
It's a little bit of improvement for 2025, but we're gonna work on you a little bit more.
Yeah, you be having me do too much. Flint After Dark, Johnny Fletcher allegations. I don't have any comment on that because that needs to be handled by the court. Those are some serious allegations, and I don't have any comments on that. People will put up stuff, and often it may not be true. And when you're looking at one side of something, the best way, if you want result, go file a police report and make them investigate. It doesn't have to be with the Flint police. And if it was, they need to file that one probably with the sheriff's office. They need to let them investigate. So I know people will come after you. I have been lied upon. And unless I see it, the sheriff's department needs to investigate that. So I don't have any opinion on that because that is a very serious matter. She gonna put up a sign in checks and signal her to check the producer's notes. Y'all, he be on me too. Reverend Frederick Powell enjoyed the show. Man, get out of here. But that still is mess. If you don't go somewhere with that, really? I'm a diehard Lions fan. Whether we win it or lose, our season was, we didn't win a single game. We had a nice stadium. How you gonna come on here and tell us some let's go? That's blasphemy. No, let's go, Detroit. Let's go. Let's go, Lions. Let's go. Now, don't be coming on here with that. And somebody is a cheesehead, a Packers fan, be sending me stuff. And I'm like, you're gonna get blocked with that. That's right, Shirley. Detroit Lions all day long. Don't come on here with that. Tell me some the Detroit, let's go Steelers. If you don't go somewhere with that, listen, all the way to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna tell y'all, I think they got it this year. Is it 13-2? Wait a minute. Tara, you're gonna get blocked. Steelers got some nice colors. Black and gold, that's about it. So, hey, Keith Downey, how are you? He is in the chat. Keith Downey, oh, here we go. I forgot. He liked them Houston Texans, them Texans who, didn't they light y'all up? Because the Detroit Lions took y'all too. He on here. I hope he don't get to talking about them because he's in Houston. And me and him be having chats going back about the Texans. So listen, Flint After Dark Pot roar. No, I'm not gonna roar, but I appreciate the roar in it. Keith Downey, I need to check with you. One of my trips is to Houston this coming up year, and we need to talk. So listen, I appreciate each and every one. Producer Jay, who are you for? Them Hawks.
Who? Cheeseheads all day.
Man, I can't fire you because you're a good producer.
But you know, I have a few variety of teams that I like for each sport. So it's not any of the Georgia teams besides the Georgia Bulldogs, the Hawks, the Falcons, the whatever else it is. It's trash to me. So I have other teams that I support or that I like.
Okay, so most people have a backup team. So I do have a backup team. So I do like the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm a Lions fan. But the Lions would have to get knocked out. But I'm 100% Lions. Have always been, and so is my dad. That was one of the things we share. That if we don't watch the games together, he's in North Carolina. My dad, I told you, my mama don't say one swear word. My daddy is a swearing master. He has a PhD in it. And so we watch the football games together, and it's like watching it on TV together or in person together. And so I can always call him and he'll let me know where we at. So the Detroit Lions have been remarkable this year, and they need to win. This is their best winning season in 93 years. 93. Patricia Adams, pray for Mount Calvary Baptist Church for God's protection. Send out special prayers for Mount Calvary Baptist Church. So if you are a praying person, absolutely send in prayers and for a hedge of protection around the church and its members. So listen, I am for the Lions. And I done got so scared. I keep wearing my little old Lions shirt, which I need a new one. but you know how you kind of get like, that little thing you wear something because it's working, I'm scared to buy a new Lions shirt, y'all. I'm like, they winning. Your girl is not buying and need a new shirt. Ain't buying one till after they win. After they win the Super Bowl. Then I'm a clown, y'all. But anyways, I appreciate everybody for joining in. And producer Jay, I appreciate you for working through the evenings and the early mornings from the hours of 12 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. to make sure that we were getting our call in together. And for Steve, I appreciate Steve collaborating and then just doing through the process of troubleshooting. The troubleshooting actually took over a week to get some things done. It is our goal.
We a couple of nights ago we worked for, I don't know, 8 hours, various programs, and we finally came up with this, which needs a little fine tuning, but it's a lot better than it was last week.
Yeah, and so I appreciate you and Steve troubleshooting to make sure that with the Tanya Burns Show, and for the people who are dedicated listeners, that we are growing and improving, and we cannot do any of this without each of you. I want this to be a platform we can discuss any and all topics, making sure we're growing together and enlightening and sharing information so that it's not just a better community in Flint, but we are a better community all over, because we can take back and share something with everybody. Two things: keep Downey. The Lions are blessed with a Texan, Aaron Glenn. Okay, you lucky because you was about to get it. Keep down. Stay safe and warm, everyone. Y'all listen, that part. So Jeremiah, hey there. Jeremiah plays is it the bass cello? I think he plays the bass cello. One of my favorite things is going to the symphony. I need to be watching somebody's symphony because it brings me, it helps to ground. I love going to the symphony. So Jeremiah plays the bass, I believe, cello, and he is remarkable. He actually lives in Detroit, comes down to the city council meetings, and he's an upright bass. Thank you for correcting me. He plays the upright bass. It's very big, y'all. And so I like to, when we have people who are in the music, who are in the arts, he's a young Black man, very positive, getting involved. He lives in the D, and he comes down to Flint and supports the Flint City Council and support members of it and supports this platform. So Jeremiah Jackson, thank you. I appreciate your support and you showing up. He stays actually, y'all, to the end. He stays, he comes to those meetings, he stays. So I appreciate those who are loyal, those who care about Flint, and those who share everything out there, who share your thoughts, because it helps us to be a better place. Shardy Shar, it is freezing out there because my furnace keep cutting out. So we are. I believe that alone. So I make things personal. So I like to share things about people. So some of these people in here, and people call. Jeremiah calls me. He'll call and have a conversation. Shardy Shar, I definitely got to check out a Flint Symphony Orchestra concert before the season's over. You know what? The symphony is beautiful. When I taught school, I used to play classical music in my class, and it helped to calm the students to where by the time they were finished, before the end of the year, they all liked it too. I introduced them to something new, and it's funny when I see my students now. Look, they grown. Some of them are grown. No, not some. They are all grown. I haven't taught in years. They're grown. So listen, I want each and every one of y'all to have a good weekend. We are actually getting out of here. So I don't want nobody to say that Tanya Burns was on here for 5 hours, because that's producer Jay problem. Tanya, keep talking. But go over to the click like and share the Tanya Burns Show. Please do that on Facebook so that we're growing our audience. And then please feel free to donate, because we're going to be upgrading some equipment. Donate Cash App, $ producer J87. Donation. We'll be upgrading some of our equipment so that when your calls come in, they will be able to be heard more clearly. We will be upgrading equipment. So,
You know what though?
What's up?
They talking about us being on here for 5 hours. Guess what?
What's up?
They watched for 5 hours, so I ain't worried about it.
That part. And
we under 4 hours today. We doing good, so we about to go.
Oh, we under 4 hours. Listen, people want to. Where am I failing at in my life, y'all? Listen, my house is like a trap house. Only thing I did was got the kitchen clean, the bathroom clean. My living room still got about 10 coats, 30 pairs of shoes in it. And I'm gonna work on that this weekend. I am. So listen, she said, get a producer. Listen, he did get him. Now we ain't doing no intermission. Oh, listen, there was can we play the one little it was with the Katie thing. One After Dark did that one, and it was Maze, and it made me just laugh because
but I might can hold
on. Okay, Councilman Maze kept saying, "In the green shirt, you in the green shirt." Well, they got caught lying.
Is that one Katie?
That was Katie.
All
She's
right,
gone.
We'll close out on that. Hold on one second.
Okay, let's close out on that.
Go ahead and keep talking. I gotta get.
So, Reverend Frederick Powell said, "I planned my Saturday around this show. I declined it." Look, go get your money. Get that earpiece. Get that earpiece. They trying to get me to get one. Reverend Frederick, get that earpiece. Listen, they want me to get. And then you could have went and made your money. And then then you could have donated to Talent Sign Producer J87. Don't ever let me stop you from getting your money, because you know
he did actually donate today, Frederick.
Oh, thank you. Look, y'all, I'm bad with the chat. I'm terrible. Listen, to everybody who donated, thank you for your donations. We appreciate it. I appreciate you donating, sharing your time with us. I am not gonna put no earpiece in my ear. I'm telling y'all, that one's gonna be a fight. He said he got 2 jobs. He could look. That's what I'm talking about. He got 2 jobs. My granddaddy had 3. They don't make them like they used to, but you the real deal, Reverend Powell. He said he got 2 jobs. Nowadays, who was I watching this pastor? He said, me and me tells him we going 50-50, but you want to be the head of the household. Okay, now you want to be head, that means you 100%. We're 50-50 come in at. Well, we're gonna have to say that for another topic. So I got footage of the whole interview in the hall. Yeah, that whole interview in the hallway was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I don't know. Were you able to find the producer, Jay?
I'm almost.
Christine and Jessica. Oh God!
What I did. If you are, then you need to quit submitting false and erroneous information. That's what you need to do, Katie. That's what you need to do. I'm trying to have a conversation with you because you submitted that I polarized this community, and you lied. You lied, Katie. You lied. You lied, Katie. I tried to contact you, and you didn't return the call. I emailed you, and you blocked me. Excuse me, I do what, Katie? Do what, Katie? But Katie, you told a lie. You did.
To put the story together. That guy right there is one of the biggest political liars that I've met in the history of Singapore.
I thought my mic was muted. I'm sorry.
No, your mic wasn't muted. Soon as Mace called him one of the biggest political liars right there, you went, no. And he kept saying the guy in the green shirt in the baseball cap.
Katie was having a bad day. She got the hand on the hip and all.
Oh, because, she was putting out lies. And when you confront a liar with their lies, she's no longer with the city of Flint. Katie quit. And someone else took her place. And then someone else, they said, was taking her place. So we're going to have to see. It has probably been 6 or 7 communications director since 2019 underneath Mayor Neely. And so when you get a communications director, you should be communicating the truth. That's not what she was doing. She was not. So she got on the elevator and got down. She left. No, I want you to be out there like you put that lie. Face with your lies, what you told. She didn't want to talk about it. When Councilman May said that to him, can you play that part again? Or are you playing it?
You told a lie. You did.
I'll give you enough ways to put the story together. That guy right there is one of the biggest political liars that I've met in the history of the city of Blair.
And that was the late, great Councilman Mays. I miss him. Okay. I miss him. And so listen, we're thankful for y'all.
Think.
What are you?
Just think.
Y'all know how long he went through this. Literally, I left Mays in the hallway. And Mays was in there, man in the green shirt. Mays was going on for about 45 minutes. And so
that man just standing there, you know he pissed.
Oh, it was the other part where you had Vanessa and Tommy. I guess they gonna call themselves threatening me. What is it gonna be? Dale, Tanya, girl, you better go on somewhere. Look, I'm not even giving we're not going to do that, okay? And so that whole thing, how we got there, Mays called me. He said, hey, look, can you go? Look, they want us to come down there to do an interview. Can you go? I said, well, they had called. I said, well, they called Mays. I said, look, I said, let me finish up what I'm doing. I gave him the time. I said, and I'll be down there. And so we down there that whole time. He said, in the green shirt, just lying, a liar. He had to call him 100 liars and got creative. That whole thing. Councilman Mays was about the truth. I mean, that little interview, the mayor called himself taking some shots at me, but that's what he does. And Mays took some shots, and he had his 2 people. And we do need to play. I'm glad you put that. We did that. And so that actually does need to be played because there were some shots. They hit below the belt. And then they tell lies. And so, anyways, we're going to end on that. He got the biggest political liar. Councilman Mays was, he was the truth. He was unapologetically Black and unapologetically a Black man that lives on the north side of town. That's who he was. So, Jay Williams said, and they picked, the women were, yep, that's the one. Jay, when he had the women bodyguards, you are correct. You are correct. So, Producer Jay, we're going to get off of here. We've been saying this for how long? Listen, everyone who donated, thank you. We appreciate you. I appreciate your donations. I'm going to send y'all some hearts. Yeah, I think my hearts is okay. My kids keep telling me I need to work on it. But y'all, look, from my heart to y'all, I appreciate y'all, and I wish everyone a happy day. Producer Jay, we are actually going to close out.
Yep, we good.
We good. Listen to everybody. Thank y'all for sharing your time. Thank you for donating. And if you can donate and you wanted to, thank you for even thinking about it and considering it. So until next time, well, before I say this, if you want me to cover a topic or interview someone, hit me up in the chat, not just in the chat. The chat's going on, but put it in inbox me, call me. Everybody got my phone number, and it's on the city council website. You can call me. So let me know, and I'll see if we can get those interviews. So listen, we will be in court or prison all day starting Tuesday. We will be sentenced to court prison. We will have to be there to pick someone, which I don't know. That's not going to happen. If it's discussion, y'all, and we need to have an election sooner than May. Get this over. That's the only way I feel that we're going to solve it. So I appreciate each and every one of you giving me your time this weekend. And Producer Jay, you are that guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you and Steve troubleshooting. So to everyone, I want y'all to have a wonderful weekend and sending love your way, peace and blessings upon your family and prosperity. All right, Producer Jay, and then the same to you. So we can hit the exit music. Look, y'all, I'm sending y'all some love because there ain't nobody else gonna send you. I'm sending 2025. I'm sending love everybody way. All right.
It's the Tanya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that file. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step